Good evening, everybody. Hey, Mr. DJ, why don't you slow this party down? The ladies in here are fly, and there's one who's caught my eye. I wanna pull her close to me and whisper sweet things in her ear. Oh yeah, tonight I'm full of fire, baby. Oh yeah, and you're the only one my heart desires, baby. The only one I wanna slow dance with, girl. You're the only one. Hey, Mr. DJ, why don't you slow this party down? You're the only one I wanna slow dance with. Good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to the Relationship Rehab Lounge this evening. Let the music play. Come on in and have a seat. I wanna get it on. We're going to talk about R. Kelly tonight. Yes, indeed. Put your arms around me, baby. And we're going to have ourselves a good time. And let's start a slow grind. I want to rock and roll and rockin' all night long, baby. Baby. What you're giving me is a feeling so strong, oh strong. Feel my nature rise, girl. Yeah, I'm gonna make you feel good tonight, girl. You're the only one. Woo! What's good? What's good, everybody? I wanted to hit y'all with that slow dance because that's one of R. Kelly's biggest hits. One of my favorite songs. That's one of my favorite songs. I love it. Hey, I'm glad everybody is here. It's so good to be here doing this thing with y'all one more time. It's your boy, Brian Redmond. And we are in the relationship rehab. We are at the lounge this evening. So, hey, we going to talk about, yes, we are, R. Kelly surviving broke holes. That's what I've renamed this series. That's all this is. This is essentially R. Kelly surviving broke holes. That's what it is. It's like a video game where R. Kelly is Pac-Man and he's running around trying to collect these dots, and he got a bunch of broke holes trying to grab them so they can make them go wow, 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 wow. Boo doo doo doo. That's what this is. This is a fucking video game. Oh my goodness. So, first of all, let me tell everybody who watched the show last night. I did some really good numbers. I'm proud of myself. Thanks to you guys for clicking the like button, clicking the share button. I think the video, DJ just put it in there. I think it's like at about 7,000 views right now. So, hey, I appreciate the love. Y'all showing the brother some love. I really enjoyed the show last night. It was long, but I really enjoyed it. So I hope that we can do the same thing tonight. I purposely didn't watch this one either so that we could go through it and experience this together. This is our first time together. It's like we are, it's like we're virgins for episode number 2, part 2 of the Surviving R. Kelly. This one is entitled The Settlement Factory Breakdown. Now, For those of you who may not know, and this is why Lifetime ain't shit, R. Kelly has an album called The Chocolate Factory. One of his hottest fucking albums, by the way. But they called this one The Settlement Factory. So I don't know where this gonna go. I don't know what they gonna be talking about, but damn it, man, y'all hitting him below the belt. And it is what it is at this point. But that's what this was called. So if you're coming in now, I hope I had enough time for people to get on in here. We've been live for about 5 minutes now. And let the record show, this is one of those rare moments I started the fuck on time. I don't know how it happened. It must have been something in the cosmos, the planets aligned, the heavens open, and God himself said, let it be, and it was. Here's a burning bush outside my door right now. I was talking to, and I said, oh, I'm gonna be late, Lord. And came on in here, but I started on time, so I'm so proud of myself. So we're gonna go ahead, get this cracking, but before we can do anything, I have to give a salute, relationship rehab salute, to the first person in the chat, which is none other than my man Skohar. Also want to give a shout out to JJ Dubois. I want to give a shout out to Bruce Taylor, Sam Starr, Crestline Iceberg. Boy, ain't that sound like a pimp name? They'd be like, what happened, girl? Girl, I got hit. What happened? Who hit you, girl? It was Crestline Iceberg who hit me, girl. He said I better have his money by 8:30, and it's 8:20, and he just left. He told me I got 10 minutes. That's what. Don't it sound like a pimp name? Crestline Iceberg. You need to put like Slim at the end of it. But I just want to say a shout out to my brother from another mother, but like no other, my man DJ Just JOK, always supporting, always shouting me out. Love you, bro. Thank you. I'm chasing your coattail, man. I'm trying to be, hey, if I could just get half as good as DJ is on the number side of the game, I'd be winning. So that's what's up. But I want to give a shout out to him. Give a shout out to G Friend, always representing CJ Gunn. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of the moderators last night. Y'all did a fantastic job. Thank you guys so much for putting in the links for the donations, putting in the links for the channel and the subs and all of that good stuff. So I just want to say thank y'all for that. Y'all always do an amazing job for me, and I really do appreciate it. Also want to give a shout out to Sherry Glenn, UFO Kamikaze. What's happening, brother? Actually, I don't know why I didn't. I should have been did that, but better late than never. Also want to give a shout out to Shelly Hunt, Shannon Lewis, Elizabeth Cook, Mike Pride. I didn't watch either one of the docs either. Okay, that's cool. You can watch it with me. Let's see who else. I think that's everybody. Slim Pimp Body. That's another pimp. It's some pimps in the chat tonight. I'm just saying. We got Crestline Iceberg, Slim. Then we got Slim Pimp Body. My man Billy Goat Grub. What's up, brother? Shannon Lewis I already saw, and I think that's it. Tony Snow, what's happening? And don't forget to add your chat code to the screen. See what I mean, y'all? It's like when you have, let me tell you something. It's one thing when you know people, right? I mean, everybody knows somebody at some point in time. It's one thing. But when you have good people around and you got good people in your corner that got your back, ain't nothing like it. It's priceless, man. It really is. It's just priceless. I appreciate you, brother. Always looking out for me, man. He ain't got to do that. But if he didn't, I wouldn't have had the chat up and probably wouldn't have noticed the shit for about an hour. But thank God for DJ, man. Always got your boys back. I appreciate you, man. Need more like you. Need more like you. All right, and Cindy Rose, all the way from Canada. Hey, are you in the hood? Cindy Rose, are you from the hood? I'm international, y'all. I got people from Canada watching the show. Terry Speaks, what's happening? I'm new and I was gonna say I knew and keeping and you keeping it 100. Oh, thank you so much for joining, Terry. That's what's up. New people? No, I'm in Quebec. That's what's up. I was just checking to see if you was in the hood. Because I wanted to know if that's how people pronounce the hood up in Canada. the hoot. But let me get off of that. Let me stop being petty. Let me stop being petty. Montreal, that's what's up. Well, thank you so much, Cindy. I appreciate you. All right, here we go. First and, last but definitely not least, we have to hear this important message, extremely important message from my good thing, my side chick, my mistress, my wifestress, my girlfriend, my other woman, my lady friend, my wife. And this is where I sit.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
Tell them about it, baby. Tell them about it, because I know all about it. Hey, what's he say? He doing snake sheet, right? No, me. I know Cindy Rose was saying that she know about snake sheet, not snake shit, snake sheet. All right, let me stop. Let's get into this, and we gonna do the damn thing. This is episode 2 of part 2 of Surviving R. Kelly. Now, you may have known him as Joe the Policeman from the What's Going Down episode of That's My Mama. So let's put your hands together for Randy Watson. All right, y'all. Let's watch this and let's do the damn thing. Hey there, baby. There she go right there. That's what I'm talking about.
You're the enemy. He's gonna treat you like that.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to pick up where we left off last night's episode. We finished part 1. Now we're moving into part 2, and they're putting up all of this stuff about R. Kelly, denying this, R. Kelly not being a part of that and all that good stuff. So basically he's saying they lied. These hoes is lying.
And now nobody believed me. And after that, it continued to happen again and again and again.
Whoever's acting like they didn't know is lying. 15, 13, anything under 18 is disgusting.
When you're that young, you get involved with someone and you think that you're quote unquote special.
We're grown girls, but we're still little girls that cry silently.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing where they're going to take this particular episode, to see what they're going to bring forth or talk about now.
I decided to sit on the row and be brave and watch it with the rest of the survivors.
And the producers and some security personnel tell us that we have to evacuate.
This was yesterday. This is them recapping. Because essentially what happened before, they were talking about, for those of you who didn't see the first breakdown that I did, last night's breakdown, this is basically them talking about the premiere of the initial show, and then them getting to the point to where they were getting ready to do the show, the screening of the show, of the docuseries, and then somebody got a phone call at the theater saying that they were going to shoot up the place. So did they call the police? Nope. What did they do? They took everybody that was inside and had them stand around outside. Yeah.
Definitely support that.
My parents, I feel like an embarrassment to them.
The bridge is over. That lady look like KRS-One, I swear for Lord.
R. Kelly turned himself into Chicago police Friday night. He is being charged with 10 counts of felony sexual abuse.
We're in the process of investigating the attorneys, the agents, and the managers that enabled this course of conduct.
Man, how complicit we all have been.
There's a weird aspect of show business that the people who make it, once we're through that door, it's like we have to close ranks.
So often it's like, why? How did this happen? How could this happen? You're telling me that this many people knew this? You're telling me that he married Aaliyah and, you know, that this tape was circulating in barbershops and on, like, how?
This doesn't happen without a symphony of people and industries and organizations and corporations enabling this behavior.
And see, here's the thing too that I want people to realize from this, because we don't want to admit this, but men and women sleeping with underage girls, this is a part of American culture, not even looking outside into other parts of the world, because it's way more prevalent in other parts of the world. But when you're just talking about America, and let's just keep it at home. We're talking about America, what America is, what America does, what America was founded under, the principles that we live by, what we believe in as a country. This thing here is a part of that. And we don't want to acknowledge it. We want to isolate the people that we want to penalize for it under the law, but we haven't even understood that this thing is something that happens because it's something that we foster as a country. Think about it like this. Look at the foster care system. So you're talking about foster care. These are children that are wards of the state. Okay? That means ain't no mama or daddy that either want them or that is actually capable or able to take care of them. These children are then put into foster homes, right? It's way more kids that need foster homes than there are foster homes. So you have anywhere in some foster homes, you have 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12 kids. And what's happening to those kids, you don't know. How many foster kids do you hear tell the story of them being raped, of them being sexually abused, of them being forced into sex slavery, of them just being mistreated, not being fed, not being nourished, not having the basic necessities that the state is paying for them to have, to where the foster parents are mismanaging the funds and the resources. So it's like that's not something that goes unsaid, that we were like, what? This is happening here? No, we all know it's happening. We just don't do anything about it. Now, when you got 4 or 5 of them that done died in a foster home, yeah, it'll make the news. But when you have those people that are in this system, our own government-funded system, that are manipulating the funds, that are manipulating the system to their advantage, getting full access to the benefits and the finances of our states, of our federal government. And they are still on top of that mistreating our children. We do nothing. There is no Surviving Foster Care docuseries. There is no The Children the Wards of the State docuseries. Those children telling their stories. And the thing, again, that pisses me off about this is that these motherfucking girls and these women, they were lying. They weren't taken advantage of. They went and pursued this man. So they weren't forced. They went after it. They chased it. And you have kids that don't have a choice. You got kids that are being dropped off by government officials or government employees to these foster parents, to these foster homes where they don't have a say, where they don't have nobody who's protecting them at night. You got the mama who's a foster parent, then you got that's coming in and molesting the boys, or the father that's molesting the girls, or they even go all the way left with the shit and have the foster kids having sex with each other. All the while they filming it. Where's that docuseries? You remember the movie, what was the movie with Denzel Washington and the dude from Biker Boys? What was that called? I can't think of it. Somebody got it. I know somebody gonna remember it. But the young man wound up being in the Navy, and he had anger issues and anger problems. And Denzel Washington wound up being like he was his psychiatrist, or he was his psychiatrist, and he was counseling the young man. I can't remember when she'd be like, "Hug my neck, nigga." What was that? Antoine Fisher. Thank you, Nick Young. Appreciate you. What's up, Lance? And Antoine Fisher. Antoine Fisher was what? Molested and forced to have sex with who? His foster sister. His foster sister. And she was so fucked up in the head, she made it seem, yo, you know you liked it. And he didn't. It fucked him up. So aside from everything else, him not being connected with his family, not knowing where he's from, not having any type of sense of identity or family, the only family that he had and that he knew of sexually abused him on the regular. How do you not acknowledge that as a television show, as a television network, as a social justice warrior? We don't speak about that. And the reason why we don't speak about it is because it's become a part of the norm of our society. And we don't want to talk about it until somebody just keeps on and keeps on and keeps on and keeps on. Then they say, "Goddamn what?" That's what we do. Oh, it ain't shit else popping. Hey, we need a hot topic to talk about. Oh, we'll talk about this. Case in point, Flint water. Flint water didn't turn out to be bad overnight. It wasn't 6 months in and then we found out Flint water was bad. And shout out to my boy Quinn, my boy Q, who lived in Flint. And he told me, and Q like 35, 36 years old. Q told me, because I asked him, I said, "Nigga, you from Flint, ain't you?" This is when it all blew up. I said, "Nigga, you from Flint, ain't you?" Like, "Yeah." I said, "What the fuck going on with the water in Flint?" And you know what he said? He said, "Man, that water been like that since I was little." I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, that water in Flint was like that when I was little. We washed our clothes in brown water, nigga." He said, "I clearly remember that. Taking baths in brown water." He's like, "Man, that shit's always been like that." I said, "Well, what the fuck happened?" He said, "Nobody gave a shit. It was fucking Flint." I said, "Wow." And so many people don't know that. So many people think that I can't think of the guy's name, but the white guy who was, I think he was from Harvard. He was the one that actually like blew the shit up, but he kept on talking about it until they finally said, "Okay, what? What is it, Tom? Hey, this water in Flint is fucking horrible." So just think about that. We had third world water, type of water, in the US of A. Just think about that. We had third world country problems in the US of A. And where did it just so happen to be? In one of the poorest cities in the country. That's what we do. So this thing about underage girls and underage boys and sleeping with men and women that are adults, this is something that's been going on. It's just now that somebody said, "Hey, what's a hot topic? What's some shit we can talk about? How can we do this? Or how can we tear down this person or take this person's legacy down? Take this person's legacy apart?" I got it. We'll pull out the age-old sleeping with young girls. Elvis Presley was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. You see, straight out racist, the sucker was simple and plain. Motherfuck him and John Wayne. Shout out to Public Enemy. But Elvis Presley married a 13-year-old girl. And there's not been one docuseries about her being sex trafficked, about her being forced to sleep with a grown man who was a music icon. Not a music celebrity, not a music artist. He wasn't an artist, wasn't a celebrity. He wasn't a superstar. He was a freaking icon. It don't get no bigger than that. When you talking about icons doing that kind of shit out in the open, in front of everyone, do you honestly think that Priscilla Presley was the first 13-year-old girl Elvis ever slept with? Absolutely not. Do you think that Priscilla Presley was the last 13-year-old girl that he ever slept with? Absolutely not. It is what it is. So, but there's no docuseries about him. And even when they interviewed Priscilla, Priscilla was like, oh yes, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew what I wanted. I knew who I wanted, and I got it. Call me Mrs. Presley. You come by with your kids and your family, and you come look at me and my husband's old house. You turned it into a shrine down there in Whitehaven, Tennessee, in Memphis. That's what they do. And just like I mentioned last night, the biggest one of them all, the emperor, the Pied Piper. And I ain't talking about Kales. I'm talking about the emperor of underage girls is Hugh Hefner. Nothing. Not a peep. He's dead and gone, but we can drag Michael Jackson all over the coals. We wrecked that motherfucker over the coals, back and forth 3-4 times. Yes, April, Jerry Lee Lewis, same thing. Jerry Lee Lewis said, fuck it, and he leveled up and said, I'm a motherfucker not only fuck me a underage girl, but she gonna be my cousin too. We're gonna keep it all in the family. Royal bloodline will not be tainted on my watch. Come on. All I'm doing is just talking about what's facts. I'm talking about what it is and what this has been a part of us as a country. This ain't no isolated incident, and that's why we own it, because we don't want the shit to happen no more. No. This is what we do.
The story here is, how did he get away with this for 30 years? It should have ended with Tiffany Hawkins, victim number 1, patient 0, the first girl who died when she was 15 in 1991.
Tiffany Hawkins. Miss Hawkins. Listen to that music. Oh, you talking about a narrative and controlling it. That music lets you know it's just like somebody said, hey, look, play something that's a prelude to something terrible. And that's what they came up with. Jeez.
I was born and raised in Chicago. I always knew I wanted to sing. Mm-hmm. It was an outlet for me. You know, I was very shy, but, you know, when I was singing, I was somebody different. And I thought that music was my destiny.
Hey, and while y'all watching this, click the like button, click the share button. Let's get them likes up. We got 112 people watching, 65 likes. Crank that, crank that. Boom, boom.
I sang in church. That's where I started. And even in grammar school, I was in the choir the whole time, into high school. I saw myself being a singer like Whitney Houston. When I got to high school, I just went to Miss McLean.
Now, y'all know who she is. That is R. Kelly's old music teacher at Kenwood High School. That's who that is, okay? So just, that's some valuable information there. That's R. Kelly's music teacher, Kenwood High School.
Miss McLean was my music instructor. She said to me, you remind me of Whitney Houston. She said, you even look like her. And so she took me on, and I pretty much was on the street more than I was at home. I was staying out late. I had no sense of direction. Me and my friends were running the streets. That's what we did.
We were all running from different challenges. We all had our own challenges at home.
Now, y'all see these 3 motherfucking hoes right here? These were the girls that, and actually, one of those girls I know for sure went to the old church I used to go to in Chicago. But that's neither here nor there. These girls were young, and what did they say out of their own mouths? They had problems at home. They didn't have the best home life. They was out here in them streets. These were, in today's term, these were literally young thoughts. That's all they were. That's all they're saying, what was going on. They all had their own issues. They all had their own personal stuff. And what were they doing? What did they do? They had the opportunity in 1991. They had the opportunity to hook up with and be around the hottest thing in Chicago on the music side of the game. I mean, you talking about, this is like right around the time where R. Kelly just blow up waited. That's all I'm saying. So you can't say, oh, well, these girls, they was taking advantage of. No, these girls knew just what they were doing, and they wanted to do it because it was R. fucking Kelly.
Either rejection, abuse, or just not really feeling like you fit in.
That's what they're saying before chaos. This is where they at. So you already in the streets. You already been abused. You already had all this other shit going on. Obviously, there's no parental guidance at all, which is why the kid said, I felt like I was lost. There is no daddy around, and we all know what Tommy say. That's the root. That's the root of all evil in all these homes. There ain't no daddy there. That's all it is. Lance, you ain't shit. Did I smash? Boy, we all know you the dirtiest dick nigga on the south side. But anyway, that's not neither here nor there. But no, I didn't. No, I wouldn't. No way. Them motherfuckers was ugly. But anyway, we gonna keep it moving.
My mother and I had some tension in our relationship. She had a boyfriend that was abusive to me, and my mother knew that he was physically abusive, and so I did feel like she did not protect us.
Now, here's my thing. Here's my question I'm going to ask. And I guarantee you she won't bring it up. And I guarantee you it's never happened. I bet you $1,000 that her mama boyfriend, a.k.a. her mama's nigga that abused her, she already said physically, ain't been in no parts of any jail in Cook County or Chicago or surrounding suburbs. Guarantee you that. But we got to mute R. Kelly. But the nigga who she was living with, that was in her house with her mama and her, who she just admitted to, I guarantee you that nigga ain't seen no part of a jail cell because of her.
The way that I feel like I would protect my daughter, so I was angry with her for that. And that's where I was at when I met Robert. I met him in Hyde Park, and we saw his car, and we saw him. And we got off the bus and ran over to his car because we wanted to meet him. I was a sophomore in high school.
What abused motherfucker does that? What woman that's been abused and just traumatized, get off the bus? So bitch, you was either going home or going to school or going somewhere you were supposed to be. Said fuck that, pulled the buzzer on the motherfucking on the bus. Bam, bam, that's the old buzzer. But around that time in the 90s, it was newer buzzers, so it was like boom, 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 boom. That's what you did to hop your hot ass off the bus. For what purpose and what purpose? Only to get with R. Kelly. You can't tell me ain't no, and any girl that's in this chat room right now, you 15 years old and you going after a man, you going after that man for one thing and one thing only. The dick. 15-year-old girls ain't on no, I just want to take a selfie or take a picture and then I'm good. Sign my poster and I'm fine. Them girls at 15, 16, 17 years old, they trying to fuck. Plain and simple. And yes, April, you are correct. Predators know easy prey too. Yes. And it's like this. If you know that what easy prey is and you are prey yourself and you chasing it, when was the last time you seen on National Geographic a gazelle looking for a lion? I'll wait. When was the last time you seen a gazelle looking for a fucking cheetah? Hey, y'all guys seen any cheetahs around here? I wanted to see if I could outrun one today. Hey, Mr. Elephant, you seen any lions around here? You haven't? When was the last time you seen a wildebeest looking for a Bengal tiger? Hey, Mr. Crocodile, I know you be at the watering hole pretty much all day long. Have you seen any lions? You seen any tigers? I just wanted to know, if there were any in the vicinity, just in case, hey, I wanted to test my mic today. You don't see it. You don't see prey looking for predators. But what you will see is willful participants. You will see a crackhead looking for crack dealers in crack houses. You will see weed smokers looking for other weed smokers to smoke weed with. You will see like minds or birds of the same feather flocking together. You will see that. You will see those things that are alike seeking each other. That's one of the most instantaneous bonding things in a friendship when you're talking about somebody with an addiction. It is the addictive thing that they do. I smoke crack, you smoke crack. I never met you before. We got something in common. We got something in common. That's what Whitney and Bobby was singing about. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Whoa, we got something in common. We smoking crack. Yes, we are. We smoking crack. Yes, we are. We got something in common. Cut. Oh, yeah. Bobby, you was doing the goddamn thing, boy. You was doing the thing on that one, Bobby. That's what was going on. So that's exactly what this is. These aren't innocent little girls who were wholesome and good on their way home from school or leaving school on their way to grandma's house with their books and notepads tied up in a leather strap, skipping, and then R. Kelly, the big bad wolf in the Range Rover, pulls up and says, "Hey, bitch." That's not how this went down. These girls was on the bus and stopped their whole fucking life, stopped the press, hit the buzzer to jump off to go find this nigga.
At the time, I was an aspiring singer. I figured, oh my God, I want to meet R. Kelly. I want him to hear me sing. R. Kelly is a huge star. He showed interest in us, I mean, we're young girls, and here R. Kelly is, like, standing there talking to us, him and his friend. The conversation ended with, I'm going to give you my address. Why don't you bring some of your friends to my apartment? We'll see how it goes. The first time I sang for Robert, I started singing a Mariah Carey song. And I hit a high note, and Robert fell out of his chair. And I was like, so is that a good thing? And his friend Tori said, that's a great thing. For the first several months, my relationship with Robert was like a brother-sister relationship.
Robert paraded Tiffany around as his best friend, little sister. And he adored her. He absolutely adored her.
At home, the troubles and pressures of being a young girl and growing up in the neighborhood, and he was a great listener, and he had a way to make you feel like you could beat the odds. He made me feel like I could do anything. I could do anything, I could be anything, and he was gonna be the person to help make that happen for me.
Here's the question. Where did she talk about her mama or her daddy or her uncle or her grandpappy or her uncle or her cousin? Where did she talk about any adult being introduced to, being with her, chaperoning her, or hanging out with her and R. Kelly? She didn't, did she? That's because that 15-year-old girl was out in the streets like a grown-ass woman. Plain and simple. If she's hanging with R. Kelly enough to where he's parading her around, she said, or Javante said, he adored her. How much time do you think you have to spend with somebody to where everybody knows who you are and who you with? Who you with? Who you with? Just think about that. How much time do you think she had to be spending with this dude in order for this to take place? And you're talking about a 15-year-old girl on her way to be 16-year-old girl on her way to do what? What is it that she's trying to do? And let's just say, for instance, R. Kelly was going to make her a star. Her parents would have to be involved at some point. She can't sign no contract. She's 15. Now, that's just me and my knowledge of the music business. That 15-year-old girl, as much as she can sing, she can hit the Mariah Carey note, the high C over E, whatever the fuck it is, that she can sing high. I'm Derek, and I can sing high like this. Yes, I can sing high. Whoa, sweet child of mine. Yeah, she can sing high and all that good shit. But he can't do nothing with her. Well, he can do something with her. But as far as music career wise, he can't do shit with her. There you go, Brewski Martinez. I see you. He picked it up, got that Step Brother. Love the movie. But he can't do anything with her. And there's no mentioning of parents. There's no mentioning of my mama. But my mama said, my mama said Coach Klein. My mama, she ain't said none of that. She's just like, yeah, so we were together. We was hanging out. Bitch, you out here like you grown. Facts. And all I'm saying is this. How many girls at 14, 15, 16, 17 years old are out in the streets like they grown anyway? I can't tell you how many times I've heard on Tommy's show about a girl talking about, or a grown-ass woman talking about, yeah, I was out the house at 14 because I was developed. My mama boyfriend was trying to fuck me. My uncle was trying to fuck me. All these dudes that my mama was bringing in and out of the house, we would get into it because they would eventually try to fuck me. How many times have you heard it? So don't act like this was just one isolated incident of this young girl who was out on the streets to fend for herself. No, this happens to a lot of young black girls. Most of these young black girls growing up in the hood, they grown by the time they 13. They sucking, fucking, going at it with the cameras on. At 14, 15, usually pregnant by 16. Most of these young black girls in the hood, and y'all tell me if I'm lying or not. Most of these young black girls in the hood, it is a fucking accomplishment to graduate from high school without a kid. A young black girl that does those two things in the hood, it's like, wow, she's going places. She's going places. You gonna think she got a chance. She can make it. To be just graduate from high school and not have a baby on the way or already here. Most of these girls, when they 16 or 17, before the celebrations they done had in their life are birthdays and a baby shower. before they graduated. They done had them a baby shower. Their best friend done had them a baby shower, or one of their close cousins or somebody done had a baby shower by the time they graduate. In the hood, these girls ain't doing shit but celebrating baby showers and birthdays. And niggas coming home from jail. That's just the truth. So her to be in this position, it's plenty of young girls that's in this position right now. Right now, there's some 16-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl laid up with a grown-ass man because her and her mama ain't getting along and her mama done told her she got to leave. Or got 1 or 2 abortions. Facts. These girls are out here, man. They are out here. And they are growing up too fast. I remember clearly when I was in grammar school, the furthest that me and my friends, the majority of us got, was to maybe feel on a booty, maybe feel on some titties. Hopefully you catch a girl at the swimming pool and get to rub a dub, and that's about it. Today, these girls sucking dick in grammar school. 6th grade. Fucking. Full-fledged fucking. 6th grade. I clearly remember my auntie telling me she's a school teacher. She was an art teacher. She was a school teacher, and she told us about a girl who was fucking 2 dudes in 6th grade in the janitor's closet. Getting it cracking. In 6th grade. Do you know how old you are in 6th grade? What are you, 11? So imagine if she's that advanced in 6th grade, imagine where she got it from. She got it from home. Now imagine what she gonna be by the time she 14 and what she doing at 11. I hear you, Miss Fat. These kids are not innocent. They're not sheltered like we expect them to be. They are literally out there surviving. And they are introduced into adulthood at the age of 13. You know how Jewish kids have bar mitzvahs, Jewish boys have bar mitzvahs at 13? Well, a bar mitzvah for a young black girl is a dick. They put a beanie on this girl, open up the motherfucking Torah, and dick. That's fucked up, but it's true. Sounds crazy, but it's true. Just like Future said. It's crazy, but it's true. That's what they're doing. They are introduced to that. These girls are getting high, smoking, drinking. I don't give a fuck cause I'm just drinking, smoking, straight West Coasting, bitches putting ass in motion, taking dicks and steady promoting. Got a car? Got a truck? Got a blunt? You a bitch? Yes, I am. Really? Then toot it up. All I really know is these hoes wanna get freaky. And what I'm saying is they ain't playing. They in the streets. And they fucking for free. When she's all alone, she don't care who she sleeps with me. Cause she ain't playing. And what she's saying, they in the streets. And they fucking for free. Boom, 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 boom. That's what they doing, man. And my thing is this, I'm trying to make light out of it, but it's the truth. And we can't change shit in our society. We can't change shit in our state, in our city, in our neighborhood, in our community until we acknowledge what's really going on. And what's really going on is that these single parent homes, these single mamas are serving their kids up to the world. to the block, to the highest bidder, to the biggest dick nigga, to the nigga that got some money, to the nigga that got more than what they got, to the nigga that got a car, to the nigga that'll buy him some shit, to the nigga that'll buy him a Gucci bag or a Fendi purse. They serving their kids up. They are. That's why you have a young girl like this. All talent. Can obviously sing her ass off. But she ain't got no guidance because she ain't got no real mama. Because her mama out chasing dick. Her mama, I gotta live my life, girl. Shit, I'm young. Shit, I got a life too. I'm somebody too. So your daughter at 15 is fucking around with the biggest celebrity in Chicago, and you really literally don't even know or don't give no fuck, or both. You know and don't give a fuck.
I spent a lot of time with Robert. Me, Javante, and another friend of ours were with Robert pretty much on a daily basis. He made sure that I had a place to stay and food to eat and clothes on my back.
Why is that? Why is that? Why is it that R. Kelly is providing food, clothing, and shelter? Shout out to my man FCS, whoever he may be. Why is it that this man is providing food, clothing, and shelter to this girl? Because she ain't fucking with her mama, because she know her mama ain't shit. And because of that, what happens? You have a man that's giving you the 3 basic needs of survival: food, clothing, and shelter. Any woman that don't have those 3 things will absolutely submit and be subservient to a man who provides that. How many women, let's be honest. Ladies, if you was broke than a motherfucker right now, and any man was willing to provide you with a place to stay, put food on your table, in your stomach, and put clothes on your back, would you not live with that man? And you don't have nowhere else to go? Honestly, tell the truth. Shame the devil. You broke as shit and homeless. You done fell out with your main nigga, and now he done put your ass out. You don't have nowhere to stay. You got a man who got food, clothing, and shelter and is giving it to you. Yes, you would. Now, let's put the fucking icing on the cake and the cherry on top. What if that man was a fucking star and taking interest in your little black nobody ass? You a fucking nobody. And this dude who's a fucking celebrity is taking notice of you, and is not only noticing you, but he's willing to actually take care of you. 99% of the women in here would either be hoeing or they'd be with this nigga. How many options does she actually have? The point is this. She didn't know it, but she was set up for this from the beginning. That's why she went after him. Because she saw him as a resource. She saw him as if I could connect with him and he can help me, I can take care of myself. And that's why she willingly fucked him.
So that's how that went.
During that period in the early 90s, you would see multiple girls at the studio, and I didn't suspect any of the younger girls like Tiffany and Javante were being sexually active with Robert. Now, they were around.
He's a fucking lie. He's a fucking liar. Security guard, what did they say? Was he the head of security, or what the fuck? What was his motherfucking name?
And pressures of being a young girl, and
and I want to get this motherfucker's name right, so I can call him a whole lot.
He was a great listener, and he had a way to make you feel like you could beat the odds. He made me feel like I could do anything, I could be anything, and he was gonna be the person to help make that happen for me.
Come on.
I spent a lot of time with Robert. Me, Javante, and another friend of ours were with Robert pretty much on a daily basis. He made sure that I had a place to stay and food to eat and clothes on my back.
Get this nigga name right.
That's how that went.
During that period,
Jim Pratt, childhood friend for former security. Jim Pratt is a fucking liar. He's a fucking liar. R. Kelly had a fucking bed in the studio. Chicago Tracks, he lived in that motherfucker practically. I'm talking like in the recording studio, like where you record, bed. What the fuck you think that bed is for? You security, so you around. You see what's happening. You sitting in there on the couch. Let's say tell you to go let a motherfucker in or go for this or go for that. You with your primary. You with R. Kelly. You go everywhere he go. How do you not know that all of these young girls that are hanging around him, ain't none of these young motherfucking girls, none of these little bitches got a song the first. Not none of them. Not none of them got a song. But they always hanging around. Nigga, you can't put two and two together. Nigga, you lying. I'm telling you that right now. Ain't no motherfucking way that this nigga talking about, oh, I was around and I did see the young girls around, but I had no idea that he was sleeping with those girls. What the fuck you think he was doing? What the fuck you think he was doing? Come on here now.
In the early 90s, you would see multiple girls in the studio. And
not multiple, dozens. In and out. Like In and Out Burger, it was in and out young hoes. In and out old hoes. In and out middle-aged hoes. They was all trying to get at him. Plain and simple. He was the lesbian R&B thug. And click that like button, y'all. And in the bottom right corner, click that subscribe button. Lance, I know your ass ain't subscribed. Click that goddamn button down there and subscribe to the channel.
I didn't suspect any of the younger girls like Tiffany and Javante were being sexually active with Robert. Now, they were around. They were around late. This is true. Sometimes we'd spend the night at the studio. I never really...
Who does that? Come on, y'all. Who would not put that together? I don't have to see R. Kelly actually having intercourse with a young girl to say and to know that he fucking them. These girls are in the studio 24/7 when he's there. They spending the night at the goddamn studio. Obviously, they ain't got no fucking parents, or their parents know and don't give a fuck that they spending the night in this man's studio, in this man's presence. Why wouldn't you think that they fucking? Nigga, you lying to yourself, because I definitely don't believe it, and I know the people don't. He know damn well what he was doing, and he know damn well that he just didn't say shit. Lying ass nigga, man. You just trying to stay out of jail, nigga. That's what the fuck you trying to do. You don't want to be considered an accomplice. You don't want to be, oh yeah, he knew. What's that? Zimmerman flew and Tyler knew. Turk 182. That's what the fuck you trying not to be.
Looked at Tiffany's age.
Now this nigga here, former tour manager, personal assistant, Demetrius Smith. This the nigga that went to the that arranged the marriage and got the paperwork and shit done at the county, that got the fraudulent shit done to get him and Aaliyah married.
Because she ran with a pack of girls and they did what they wanted to do all night. They would stay out all night. They would come early. They would do what they wanted.
She's really promised her a career. That's every young aspiring musician's dream. And
you take 90% of the young girls that go out to Hollywood to be actresses. Aren't they promised a career? They take Greyhound buses, they take Amtrak trains, they drive their car, pack up everything they own and have known in the world, and they drive out to California to be a movie star. 5 years later, they doing porn, fucking and sucking. This is not new.
And it instead was this sick sexual relationship where he is preying on her at age 15 and having her connect him to other 15-year-old friends.
He didn't have to have them connect other 15-year-old girls. He went to the school where they were. They all was together. They went to the school. That's where he went. He went to Rock and Roll McDonald's because that's where the young girls went. They went to the he went to Kenwood because that's where they were. And they let his old grown ass in the building. Why? Because he's R. Kelly. And the girls knew it. Some of the finest girls in the city went to Kenwood. Everybody know that. Facts. All the pretty girls went to Kenwood, went to Whitney Young, or they went to, what's that other school up north? Was that Lane Tech? One of those three. So it wasn't no thing where, oh, we didn't know that was what he was doing up there. You knew goddamn well what he was doing up there. Fuck this grown-ass nigga up at your school for every other day. Every Friday, he up there. For what? Nigga, you a celebrity. Nigga, you a star. Nigga, you doing an album. What the fuck you at Kenwood for? I know exactly what the fuck you at Kenwood for. Just like these girls know what the fuck you up here for. Them girls at Kenwood dressed like grown-ass women. They had off-campus lunch. They was out here in High Park getting it cracking. Facts. Anybody in Chicago that grew up in the 90s, they know damn well what was up at Kenwood. Cause it wasn't just R. Kelly going up there. It was all the niggas, all the drug dealers, all the older dudes. They all went up to Kenwood with their cars. Cause what? All them young girls were car booties. You don't know what a car booty is? It's a girl that just want to be in a nice car, and she want to put her booty in a nice car, and she'll do whatever to get in that car, to stay with the nigga that got the nice car. Nigga, you had a whip back then, you ain't have to say shit. You could literally be like, give me your number. Okay. Miss Parker.
It sounds like the Manson family.
This nigga said the Manson family?
Robert
boy
did ask me to...
Because she ran with a pack of girls.
Listen to this Newman from Jerry Seinfeld looking motherfucker. He just said the Manson family. Get the fuck out of my face on the internet. Oh my God.
And they did what they wanted to do all night. They would stay out all night. They would come early. They would do what they wanted.
She's really promised her a career. That's every young aspiring musician's dream. And it instead was this sick sexual relationship where he is preying on her at age 15 and having her connect him to other 15-year-old friends. It sounds like the Manson family.
Do you hear this motherfucker? For those of you who may not know, when he says the Manson family, he's referring to Charles Manson. Charles Manson was able to coax several motherfuckers into committing one of the bloodiest mass murders in the world. Look up Charles Manson and read what he did. Charles Manson didn't kill nan motherfucker, but he convinced these other people to go to this person's house and to literally slaughter them. That's what he just compared R. Kelly to. Really? The Manson family? Seriously? Jesus Christ.
Robert did ask me to bring friends with me. and I did bring friends with me, they always wound up having...
No, I didn't know that about Jim, Miss Fat. Who the fuck is Jim? Is Jim the security dude where they spelled the G-E-M? Oh, is that white journalist dude? Not sure, but let's keep it going.
Sex. Always. It always ended up that way. The first time I met with Robert after getting his phone number, I gathered some of my friends and we went to his apartment. It was Robert. There were, I think, about 3 of his friends. We were all talking, laughing. You know, everybody had fun. There was a lot of laughs, a lot of joking. There was a lot of fun. And my friends were all in his bedroom.
Come on now. Come on here now. Come on here now. Y'all all in this dude's bedroom? Seriously? You in his dude's bedroom. Dude you going to meet for the first time. You know what it is, y'all. Come on, man.
And every time I went in there, he was having sex with someone. It turned into a whole orgy.
So this would be the part where she's about, now listen up, everybody. She just told you what she witnessed. So this would be the part where she tells you that she leaves, runs out, screaming, yelling, and then calls the police. And then Rob gets locked up and is in jail forever. And that's the end of this show. So this is about to end because she's about to tell us that's what she did.
The girl I brought was between the age of 14 and 16. For a 25-year-old to be having sex with a 14-year-old, that was not something that was normal for me. It's not something that I had seen. This was a star, so for me, I thought maybe this was different. Maybe this is just how it goes.
As she said to me when we finally spoke, he used to call me the cable girl. And I said, I don't get it. She said, I hooked him up. I introduced him to 6 of my other friends who were 15, and they all had sex with Kelly before I ever slept with him.
You don't say. You don't say. So wait a minute. She not only brought her friend over that first time, but consistently brought her friends to R. Kelly to the point to where he was calling her the cable guy because she was hooking him up. She consistently brought enough girls to him to the point to where he called her the cable guy. My lash addiction, if you want to figure it out, just watch the other show and keep watching this one and you'll see where I'm at. I'm not on anybody's side. I'm on the side of righteousness. That's the side I'm on.
When you thinking go get me some girls, I mean, we weren't looking for underage women. In our minds, we were just looking for girls. He had figured a way in, and we didn't even know it.
Using girls to recruit other girls may work to make the predator feel less guilty, feel less culpable, a little bit more distance from the more nefarious aspect of what's happening. And in subtle ways, it's also effective because a predator then is saying, let's invite more people to this party. Aren't we having fun?
Robert took advantage of a lot.
Here's the thing. Now, if she's 10, I get it. She 8, I understand. She ain't gonna know no better. But let's just say at 15, she was dumb as shit. Let's just say she was dumb as shit. She knows at 15 that she's not only not supposed to, but it's illegal for her to sleep with an adult. Ain't not nan 15-year-old in this world that don't know that. So not only did she not fuck him, she went and got other 15-year-old girls, 14-year-old girls, 16-year-old girls that she admitted herself that she knew shouldn't be fucking R. Kelly. She went and got those girls and brought them to her. Brought them to him on a consistent basis and did it so many times that he called her the cable girl. How is this girl a victim? At best, at worst, she's a fucking sex trafficker. This girl was 15 years old recruiting other girls. The other girl, Javante, she was 15 years old, 14 years old, 16 years old, literally getting girls to bring to R. Kelly after they knew what he was doing. They knew what he was doing. That's my point. It's not like they didn't know. It's not like they was bringing this girl to a remote location, leaving her there, and then leaving out and didn't know as a spaceship came and beamed them up. No. She saw R. Kelly fucking them girls the first time she went to his house. She saw R. Kelly fucking her friends that she took over there. I wonder how that happened, because none of them screamed rape. None of them filed a police report. None of them told their parents. You know why? Because she said, hey, girl, we going to R. Kelly house. What? R. Kelly? The R. Kelly? Hell yeah, I'll go over there. I want to fuck him. Oh, girl, he's so fine. I want to give him this pussy shit. This nigga around the corner who broke his shit. If he fuck me, I damn sure want this nigga to fuck me. That's an upgrade. I'm getting a dick upgrade. I can say I fucked R. Kelly. How many girls do that? How many girls have done that? How many girls are planning to do that right now? You can't be a victim when you going in search of the dick. You can't. I'm sorry. You cannot.
Of my friends, Ebony, I felt the worst about.
About a month in after meeting Rob, there was a day that we were at his house on 9th and Wabash. Rob had grabbed me by the hand and he brought me out of the room. He started kissing on my neck and fondling me, and we had sex. I was 14 or 15.
You know what other thing you ain't heard these girls say? R. Kelly was my first. Just listen. Out of all of these motherfucking videos I done watched, out of all of this shit I've seen, I have not heard any of these girls say he was my first. I was scared and didn't want to because I had never had sex before. I have never heard any of them say, well, after that, I was so scared that I told my mama or I told my parents, and then they went and filed a police report. I was so scared and I was so shook up after we had sex that I went and told the police. I told my teacher. I told my uncle. I told my brother. Ain't not one of these girls ever said this.
When we think about sexual encounters, when adults are attempting to engage adolescents, there's pressure. There's an adult that has a very strong opinion one way. Our brains don't stop developing until our mid-20s. So what that means is adolescents have an underdeveloped decision-making capacity.
We were in the same room that we were always sitting in, and he just openly bent a girl over and proceeded to have sex with her. And with that, me seeing that it hurt my feelings.
But when you're that young, you get involved with someone and you think that you're quote unquote special. To see that it was just so easy to go from me to another person, and then in front of me,
So do you see where the emotion came in at? She wasn't upset that he had sex with her and she was too young to have sex. She wasn't upset at the fact that he forced himself on me and that's why I was crying. Nope. She was all good by getting dicked down by Kels because that's what she wanted. She didn't have a problem and she didn't feel hurt and she didn't have a need for any tears. Even the tears she got now, she never cried until he fucked somebody else in front of her. But let's listen for the part to where she gets up and leaves after he fucked this girl, bent her over in front of her, in front of everybody in the room where he fucked her. Let's hear this part to where she talks about how she got up and ran out in tears crying. Let's hear that.
Actually didn't even know this impacted me like this. Throughout all the years, even when speaking about it recently, like it was nothing. It was nothing. But I guess it is. I guess it still is.
You hear that? It still is. Not the fact that he fucked her, but the fact that he fucked somebody else in front of her. That's what hurt her feelings. Are you serious, y'all? How is this person a victim? Now, is she in some fucked up shit? Yes. And back then, if they had Facebook, she would change her relationship status from complicated into from boyfriend or involved or together with somebody. She changed that to it's complicated. That's exactly what hoes are doing today. That would be it's complicated. I'm in a situationship. This man is a star. And yes, your naive ass thought that he was just going to only be with you. That's what a 15-year-old would think. And he proved you wrong and he hurt your feelings. I get all of that. But the thing is, this is the games this is the prize you win when you play these type of games. Yo young ass was fucking around with not just a grown ass man who was 25, 26 years old. This nigga was a fucking celebrity. This is exactly why young girls need their fathers, because these mamas obviously ain't shit. You don't even know where your daughter at, and she's sitting here watching R. Kelly bending over another 15-year-old girl in front of her after she just fucked R. Kelly however many minutes or hours ago. This is what these young girls are doing. At 15, 14, ain't no this is happening during school hours. Studio life has always been known to be late night. You sleep in the day. You sleep at the studio. Studio life, especially being somebody like him, you live in the studio. So these girls being in there, they missing school. They ain't going home. They spending the night at the studio. They ain't got no type of motherfucking guidance. They don't have no parents. That's the question that people should be asking. Where the fuck was your mama and daddy at? The fuck were your parents doing to where your ass is at this nigga's studio for days on end? You don't hear this bitch talking about, yeah, I sang. You don't hear these bitches talking about, yeah, I used to rap too. These was just hoes wanting to be around this nigga. And like I said, you've yet to hear any of them talk about, he was my first ever.
I felt really, really bad. And to this day, I feel really bad about that.
How long after being around Robert did your relationship turn from friendship into something sexual?
So, pause, please.
What the fuck you pausing for? That's a simple and direct question. You know why? Because now she needs time to frame this shit up, to paint this shit with a brush, to make it look like it's something that's gonna make you feel sorry for her. Let's see what the bitch say.
Need some water. Yeah, right.
Thirsty. Yeah, that's what the truth do to you. Get you parched. That's why I'm drinking all this water. Because I'm telling so much truth, so many facts. I got to keep this water going. Mm-hmm. You damn right she is, Daquan. She taking a break so she can try to frame this shit up in her mind so she can say how she gonna say this shit because she got to spin this motherfucking narrative to keep herself in the clear. Woo, it's hot in here. Let me get some water, girl. Hold on now, girl. Let me take a moment, girl. Pause. Push the pause button on this shit. Bitch, it's just how long was it? Was it 6 hours, 6 days, 6 months, or 6 years? When did you start fucking from the time you met him? That's all we asking.
Ain't
nobody ask you for the Pythagorean theorem. Ain't nobody ask your ass what the fuck is pi. Ain't nobody ask your ass what's the motherfucking the hypotenuse of a train leaving the station in Milwaukee going 35 miles an hour and another train is leaving San Francisco going 85 miles an hour, and where would they intersect at if they both on parallel tracks? Bitch, they wouldn't, because the tracks are parallel.
I came to the room and he asked me to take my shirt off, and he fondled my breasts while he was having sex with somebody else. I mean, I was never okay with it. I have to have sex with him. But I always felt like you can't be enjoying this because I'm not, and it's got to be obvious that I'm not. So why are we doing it? But he didn't care. I'm assuming that someone said something about all the young girls being around, because we went from bring your friends, bring some of your friends.
I went back because this bitch didn't answer that question. I just wanted to prove that. I just went back just so we could all see it one more again.
Our way. I remember one time I came to the room and he asked me to take my shirt off, and he fondled my breasts while he was having sex with somebody else. I mean, I was never okay with it. I have to have sex with him. But I always felt like you can't be enjoying this because I'm not, and it's got to be obvious that I'm not. So why are we doing it? But he didn't care. I'm assuming that someone said something about all the young girls being around, because we went from bring your friends, bring some of your friends, every time, bring some of your friends. We went from that to nobody can come. He didn't tell me why, but all of a sudden, it's just me now. It's just me, so there's no one else to have sex with Robert other than me.
The first step in the process of victimization is often locating and identifying a target, a victim. And often what can make it easier is if you are less connected to family and friends, if you are more isolated in your life with less social supports.
My sexual relationship with Robert began several months after meeting him.
Boom! There you have it. Oh, there it is. There it is, baby. That bullshit. Yes, that bullshit. You see, you lying, bitch. You acting like you didn't know what was going on, but you did. You wasn't doing this shit for nothing. No, you tried to get a deal, you tried to get some money, you tried to get on on the stage. Yes, you did. You wasn't doing this shit for nothing. No, you wasn't working. Woo-hoo. So what more you want? What more do you want? You see, you just a hoe and you was peddling bitches for Rob, baby. You didn't appreciate all the things that he gave your ass. No, you didn't. Do. You wasn't working a 9 to 5. You was just living off this nigga daily. He took care of your ass, and he wanted some ass. How can you blame a nigga for that? There it is, baby, that ungrateful shit. Come on, man. She not only was bringing her girls around, she was also watching this shit go down, and it was 3 months before she fucked. I can't. How is that a victim? That's not a victim, y'all. Because at no point in time have you heard her say no, stop, or don't. And I said, bitch, you don't have to front on me, dear. Don't be afraid. It's only a dick. Do-do, do-do, do-do. If you be good to me, oh, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. Do-do, 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 do-do-do-do. All that I want is a little puss. Do-do, do-do, do-do-do-do. All that I want is just a little head. If you be good to me, oh, I'll be good to you. And we'll both ride home in my automobile. I can't. She said she was with this nigga for 3 months. We talking 90 days. And I'm sure it might have been sooner or even if it was later. It don't matter. She with this nigga day in and day out, bringing hoes in and out of that motherfucker for him. Day in and day out for all that time. Pulling her titties out for him to rub on while he bending another bitch over. She never said no. She never said I ain't with this. She never said I don't want to do that. She never said don't. She said herself, I didn't like it, but you did it anyway. I get it. That don't mean that he forced you. That don't make you a victim because you stayed. Tell me the episode or the time when you did it once and left and went to the police. Go get him. Tell me the one time when you said, nah, I ain't doing this. This ain't what I want to do. I'm out. And he like, no, bitch, get over here and motherfucking bump and grind. Tell me that story. Tell me the story where R. Kelly grabs a motherfucker by the head and say, bitch, tell me that story because I haven't heard it yet. And yes, it's still illegal. You are 1000% correct. He is guilty of statutory rape. However, all of this, trying to take his money, take this down, take him down, he need to go to jail for 55,000 years. If you're going to lock him up, lock up motherfucking Elvis, lock up motherfucking, what's the dude that died in the car, Paul, what? I forgot his name. He was dating a young ass girl too. Lock up every last one of these niggas that's doing it and put their ass under the jail so won't nobody else do the shit. We picking and choosing who we want to get for this shit. And that's my problem with this. To the person that asks whose side am I on, I'm on the side of righteousness. Paul Walker, thank you. Don't sit here and try to make this a thing where this is the worst shit ever because it's R. Kelly doing it. But when everybody else is doing the shit in Hollywood, when you got the Epsteins doing it, when you got all of the people that was connected to Epstein partake in it, and ain't none of them motherfuckers been locked up, ain't none of them motherfuckers been put in jail, ain't no task force assigned to that shit, then don't tell me that we gotta mute R. Kelly. Ain't nobody lock up Jerry Lewis. I ain't even know about Karl Malone, but there you go. All of these niggas got stories like this. What about Birdman? The basketball player. They all doing this shit and ain't nobody saying shit until they don't like your ass. Then they say what you did is wrong. A 25-year-old dude sleeping with a chick that's 10 years younger than him is illegal. Yes. Lock up everybody that's doing it. Steven Tyler. Absolutely. Mark Chamorro. Y'all remember him, tight end for the Green Bay Packers. Old Big Ben. Did it twice. Tell me you gonna get everybody if you gonna get everybody. You picking and choosing over motherfuckers you don't like, you on bullshit. That's what I'm talking about. That's the side I'm on. Tiger and motherfucking whatchamacallit, the young girl. What's her name? I can't think of the damn, not Jenner. I wanted to say Bruce Jenner. Kylie Jenner. It's like, come on, man. All these dudes are fucking young hoes, and all these young hoes are fucking old dudes. That's my point. Yes, them chicks are chasing these niggas. It's not that these dudes are grabbing these bitches off the street and tossing them in motherfucking work vans and driving them off into remote places, fucking the shit out of them and leaving them for dead along the side of the road or in the woods. That's not happening. These young hoes are going to where they at. They trying to get backstage. They trying to get next to them. They already fucking. They already sexually active. They already getting it. So how is that person a victim? That's all I'm asking. That's the only question that I'm posing. And the other part is, how come everybody ain't going to jail for this shit? Make this shit to where if your ass sleep with an underage girl and you know that this bitch is underage, nigga, you get 20 years. Minimum. You want it to stop? Make that the law. These niggas wouldn't go near a bitch without ID and fingerprint. Nigga, I ain't doing 20 years for this bitch. You look young. Karl Malone was 22 and his baby mama was 14. The fuck? Come on, man. Don't make it seem like these girls are innocent victims that were preyed upon by this evil man and all he did to them was fuck the shit out of them when they didn't want it, they didn't ask for it, and they didn't deserve it. And now all that's left are the broken pieces. I'm 35 and me fucking R. Kelly 20 years ago was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Bitch, you jumped off the bus to chase this nigga down. I ain't trying to hear that.
When it was just, we went from this brother-sister tight-knit relationship to more of a sexual relationship. And
please click that like button. We got 183 people watching and 119 likes. Click that like button. Thank you.
It was weird for me.
He would have sex with multiple friends and have Tiffany watch. Then he would have Tiffany participate. Then it was just him and Tiffany. And she wanted to do whatever she needed to do to be with him. And so when he insisted on having sex with her, she did. And then it became a regular thing, and she eventually lived with him and was told to cut off contact with other people, which she did. So it was an evolution of pedophilia.
If a 15...
And that's incorrect. We all know, well, I know Soto Nation know, that's not pedophilia. I think is, what is it called? Hebophilia or something like that. Pedophilia is prepubescent. That means it's Girl is not developed as not a woman yet. Prepubescent, has not hit puberty yet. Just want to make sure we know we as Soto Nation, we keep that shit factual. These bitches was already fucking. And like I said before, you ain't heard that R. Kelly was my first story yet, have you? It's not making excuses. It's called facts. My lash addiction, it's called facts. That's what we dealing with here. This ain't how you feel. This ain't about what you feel about it. This ain't, oh, he was wrong. Yes, he was. And so were they. Yes, he was. And so were the parents. Yes, he was. And so was a 15-year-old going after a grown-ass man. What do you think was going to happen? Let's talk about the motherfucking 17, 18, 19-year-old girl that was sleeping with R. Kelly and the 14-year-old girl. R. Kelly ain't twisted no arms in this shit here, Miss My Lashes. My lash addiction ain't twisted nan arm. These hoes wanted to be connected to the resources and to the celebrity that he had. That's what it was. So if you disagree with what I'm saying, disagree with some facts. That's all I'm asking. Challenge me, tell me I ain't shit and I'm lying, and back it up with some facts. Because that's all I'm talking here. How you got a motherfucker with you for 3 months before you even fuck and they bringing people for you to fuck? That's called an accomplice in my book. That's called an accomplice. That's called a motherfucking aiding and abetting in motherfucking fraudulent activity. I mean, in illegal activity. That's what I call that. That's what that is.
Is trading sex for a favor, rather it be a career, rather it be money, is not making a strong or wise decision. They do not understand where this type of behavior can lead them. Due to something we call the prefrontal cortex, it basically does not have the wiring to understand long-term effects of current impact.
I had no clue.
How many teenagers, how many young people, how many young adults make decisions that they don't realize what the long-term effects will be? How many 19-year-old girls had unprotected sex and got pregnant? They didn't think about the long-term effects of fucking without a condom on, did they? They didn't think about the long-term effects of that, did they? Young people make mistakes all the damn time, which is why it's so important to have what? Parents. Parents. That's where the majority of this responsibility lies. If the parents were in the home, if the parents were watching over their children and weren't letting their daughters spend days away from home at a grown-ass man's studio that's a celebrity that's known for fucking young girls, maybe the greater portion of them, it wouldn't have never happened. Maybe if the first night that Miss Hawkins went over there and Tiffany saw R. Kelly fucking her friends, maybe she would have stopped bringing them over there to get fucked. Maybe she should have just left and said, you know what, this ain't my thing. I'm out. Maybe when he said, pull your titties out so I can squeeze them while I fuck her, if she said no and left, she wouldn't have brought no more girls to him. Just maybe. Like she didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Please. The fuck out my face on the internet.
Robert does what he does in your face, so you don't even see it. If you're in the studio and you hear the music going and the door is locked, here's the thing. You're accustomed to that because this is how he creates. You're not thinking that there's something going on the other side of the door, because if he wants to do something, he does it in your face. So it's very easy for me or anyone else to not realize what was going on with her at that time.
It's never something that I wanted to do because I was not sexually attracted to Robert.
Oh my God. Oh my God. She just said it was never something that I wanted to do because I was never sexually attracted to Rob. You moved in with him. You brought him other girls. You slept with him for I don't know how long, and you wasn't attracted? How the fuck do y'all even let her say some shit like that and y'all don't ask? Like, come on now. Come on now. The biggest celebrity in Chicago to date, goddammit, but at that time was the biggest celebrity in Chicago, is with your ass. You ain't put out song the fucking first. So you can't say this was for my career. But yet and still, you live with him, was sleeping over in his studio, living with him, bringing him hoes. You tell me if that ain't a bottom bitch, I don't know what is. And what bottom bitch ain't attracted to her pimp? Come on here now. This nigga taking care of you, buying you clothes, feeding you, clothing you, all this shit, and you said you wasn't attracted to him at no point? Whatever, bitch. Don't lie. That's the shit I'm talking about. That's the side I'm on, is why is this motherfucker on here lying like this? Click that like button as you watching, please. I appreciate you.
I was not in love with Robert. I didn't want that kind of relationship with Robert.
So you didn't want that kind of relationship with Robert, but you continued to sleep with him. You continued to do what he told you to do over and over and over and over again. Who the fuck does that?
It's what I knew I had to do.
How did you have to do it?
In order to satisfy him and keep myself around.
He promised.
Oh, so wait a minute. Okay, I get it now. I get it. My bad. So she literally served up her friends, compromised her morals and values. She served up her body. She did any and everything that R. Kelly wanted her to do, not for a contract that she never got, not for a contract that she could never even sign because she was a minor, but for the simple fact of she wanted to stay around. What kind of sick motherfucker want to stay around some shit like that? That they're totally against, totally don't like, no attraction to this man at all. He's literally only doing one thing for her, and that's providing her with food, clothing, and shelter, the basic needs of survival. She couldn't get that nowhere else in the world, so she stayed with old Rob that she didn't like, didn't really want to be around, but because she wanted to be connected to him in the in crowd, she did. And everybody's okay with that. We feel sorry for that.
To the world. And I believe he really tried to produce on some levels. I really do.
I honestly cannot think of a time that I was with Robert and we didn't have sex. It was all the time. All the time.
I hated it. But I did.
And she stayed. Who did? Come on, hey y'all, look. Come on now. You ain't got your ass beat. You ain't got tied up. You ain't got locked up. They won't let you out. No, they won't let you out. You ain't locked up. You ain't locked up. You ain't got your ass beat. You ain't tied up. You ain't handcuffed no goddamn well. And you telling me that you gonna stay with this dude for all this time? Because of what? Why? You could have left at any given point in time. You was the cable guy. Why wouldn't you leave?
Because I felt like it's what I had to do.
Why? Here's my thing. There are women right now today that have gotten their jaw broke, that have gotten their eye socket fractured, that have gotten teeth knocked out of their head. There are women that have gotten their ribs broken. There are women that have gotten body parts broken. They've gotten bruises. They've gotten beaten. And that's why they couldn't leave. Because that nigga had them up against a wall and told them, bitch, I'll kill you if you ever try to leave me. So that's why you stay in that situation. I get it. You got some swole ass nigga talking about I'll crush your fucking skull and he just fractured your motherfucking eye socket 2 days ago. I would think that a woman would believe that nigga would kill her. I would. Shit. You got a busted lip, you got a bruised jaw, you got all kind of bumps and bruises and broken shit on your body. You got 4 kids that's living in the house watching you get your ass beat, and that nigga tell you, bitch, you can't never leave. I'd believe it. I would understand why she didn't. I would understand why she stayed. This nigga ain't laid a hand on none of these bitches. Ain't not nan police report. This bitch was free to come and go as she wanted. But she felt like I felt like I had to. I just felt like I did. You wanted to because you liked the shit he gave you. That's why I call this shit R. Kelly surviving broke hoes. That's all this shit come down to. He had money, he had fame, he had power, you had none. You wanted to get connected to that shit. That's all it was. It happens every day. There are women that do it all the time. Come on, y'all. Stop making this shit seem like this is so unheard of and absurd. It's not. Everybody does this shit. They connect with a guy because he got some shit that they can siphon off of his ass. The greater majority of women don't do shit for themselves. They want a nigga to do it for them. Black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Whatever race it is. Men are the ones that create resources. Men are the ones that obtain power, and women want part of it, and they sacrifice their morals, their values, their ass, their mouth, their vaginas for it. That's the world we live in. That's why they do what they do. That's why she felt like she had to stay. You didn't feel like you had to stay. Bitch, you wanted to stay because you like being next to Robert Kelly. You like getting VIP treatment at the shows. You like going into the stores and buying whatever the fuck you want. Getting all the Jordans, all the Nike outfits, all the Jabot outfits, all of the shit that you wanted, he got it. You like riding in the nice cars, the Bentleys, the Jaguars, the motherfucking Range Rovers. You liked all of that shit. That's why you stayed. Admit the truth. He provided you with a lifestyle that you could have never achieved on your own. That you had never seen before in your life. And because of it, you wanted to stay, and that's why you did. You didn't want to give up the glamorous life.
Tiffany was a singer. Her relationship with Robert was music, and we introduced her to Aaliyah. And she began to sing background on Aaliyah's album. And that made her very happy because she wanted to be a singer, and she could sing.
Aaliyah is key to everything. My understanding of what happened between Robert and Aaliyah Dana Houghton begins with Barry Hankerson, who was the manager who oversaw Kelly's rise to superstardom. He had a niece, Aaliyah Dana Houghton, and Hankerson paired Aaliyah with Kelly. And Kelly wrote, recorded, produced, and titled.
Holy shit. Miss Fat, I hope that I just, if there's a way that you can email me that to show that that's true, please do. If he's had 2 kids with 2 different underage girls, if somebody has that information, please send that to me. Please email me that. Please do.
Aaliyah's debut album, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number.
Now you tell me what a motherfucker ain't. Here's the thing, y'all. R. Kelly wasn't no forceful ass dude. He was living in plain sight what he was and what he was doing. And the reason why is because that's all he knew. He wasn't a good guy and he was just trying to hide this dirty little secret. No. He didn't know no better because that's all he had been around since he was 7 years old. He had been fucked with, oversexed, introduced to sex, and was fucking his sister since he was 7. He's been mentally disturbed for the greater majority of his life. Why would this be something? He's not hiding anything. He's showing you that he's fucked up in the head. He married a 14-year-old girl. And the only way that he could accomplish all of this was with the help of his team and the other people around him who all knew, including the young girls. That girl, Javante, who was saying, well, you would go to the studio and then you would see that the studio music was playing and the door was locked, but you wouldn't think would nobody be in there having sex. You wouldn't think that he would be having sex with a girl in there. Okay, Javante, I'm going to give you that. How about when you said out your own motherfucking mouth, you was on the tour bus, y'all was on the road, you saw the tour bus hit a motherfucking bump, the door opened up, and you saw R. Kelly fucking the shit out of Aaliyah, and your punk ass didn't say nothing. How about that? You knew then, but you kept on dancing for him, didn't you? You kept on rolling with him, didn't you? Eating in all the restaurants and all that shit, didn't you? Why? Because you wanted to be a part of the shit that he already had. That's Javante's story. She knew that nigga was fucking her. And she knew how old she was. And what did she do? She act like she was her best friend. She hung out with her all that time and didn't tell not nan motherfucker. Didn't file nan police report. Didn't go tell nan adult. Didn't say shit. However, 25, 30 years later, now this bitch talking about, yeah, it was so sad how that happened to her. And it was just terrible. Bitch, you knew what was going on and what was wrong when you saw the shit.
We became really fast friends. My best friend actually, she had a problem with Leah because it went from her and I being very close to Leah and I sing on her first album, as well as participated in the At Your Best video. And I got to tour with Aaliyah.
Remember, he met Aaliyah when she was 13 years old. I don't think anyone ever suspected early on that they were having a sexual relationship, because why would you suspect a grown man of having sex with a 13-year-old?
Hey, I'ma give y'all that. I'ma give y'all that. You're right. You're right. I wouldn't suspect it. Let's give all of these smart ass fucking street smart adults, all these teenagers that's been living on the fucking streets, and all of these grown-ass men and women that's been around this nigga since he was motherfucking 17, 18 years old. Let's give them all the benefit of the doubt and say they didn't know. Let's just say they didn't know. However, what did y'all think when he married her young ass? What did y'all think when they put in the Chicago Sun-Times newspaper a copy of the marriage certificate? That not only proved and validated what he did with Aaliyah, but it also validated what he had been rumored to be doing with all these other young ass girls, aside from the girls who knew firsthand knowledge of the shit. All I'm saying is they all knew and they all played a part in it. They didn't give a shit. And they don't give a shit today. The only reason why they're even doing this shit is because these old hoes is broke and trying to get some money. That's it. And Lifetime is taking advantage of it. And I guess so am I. Let's keep it going. Shit. Click the like button, damn it.
Pop star R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton. And Aaliyah produced 2 pieces of ID that appeared to show her to be 18.
When I found out that Robert and Aaliyah got married, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. Because if someone else was sleeping with him, that was great, because that meant I didn't have to.
Ooh, you hear that bitch? Did you hear that bitch? You see what kind, this bitch just said out of her mouth. She was my best friend. I sang on her album. So this bitch gave you an opportunity of a lifetime to sing on her debut hit album. You just said out your mouth that y'all instantly clicked and became the best of friends in the world. And in less than 2 minutes later, the first thing out your fucking mouth was, I didn't give a shit. I didn't care because I didn't have to fuck him. But your best friend is fucking. Your best friend is you wasn't attracted to him and you didn't like him. Your best friend who you know is underage is fucking him too, and you didn't give a shit because what? You didn't have to fuck him. If that ain't the memoirs of an ain't shit bitch, I don't know what the fuck is, which is why I definitely will never give 2 cents about this bitch being a victim. Because this the same bitch that served up all of her friends. This the same bitch that sat there and watched her get all of her friends get fucked by this dude. And then she moved in with this dude as he steady fucking all these other young girls. She lived with this dude as he steady fucking all these young girls. And then when her best friend was getting it too, she didn't say shit. But now today, this bitch has a story to tell. Get the fuck out my face. That right there just showed you who she was. And the fact that motherfuckers think she's a victim, Miss My Eyelashes Addiction, you feel sorry for this bitch now after what she just said? Her 14-year-old best friend served up. I ain't care because I didn't have to fuck him now, so shit, I was cool with it. Let's hear that shit again. The ain't shit bitch herself.
He had a problem with Leah because it went from her and I being very close to Leah and I sing on her first album, as well as participated in the At Your Best video.
All smile.
And I got to tour with Aaliyah.
Went on tour.
Remember, he met Aaliyah when she was 13 years old. I don't think anyone ever suspected early on that they were having a sexual relationship, because why would you suspect a grown man of having sex with a 13-year-old?
Hip-hop star R. Kelly did indeed marry his protege, the 15-year-old singer Aaliyah Houghton. And Aaliyah produced 2 pieces of ID that appeared to show her to be 18.
When I found out that Robert and Aaliyah got married, I didn't care. It didn't bother me. Because if someone else was sleeping with him, that was great, because that meant I didn't have to.
A few days after the fact, Aaliyah's father put a halt to all that.
Even though clearly there were people that knew about it, it was something that was covered up.
Aaliyah was the first person to have a signed non-disclosure agreement known as an NDA with Robert Kelly.
An NDA, what it is most of the time in a civil setting, want to share it with the public or other people, both sides sign a non-disclosure agreement. So you can't talk about the terms of the settlement. You can't talk about how much money was paid by either party. That non-disclosure agreement became the most effective tool in R. Kelly's arsenal to continue his predatory practices.
The Aaliyah story's not mine to tell. I wish that Aaliyah's family would.
Here's the thing. Aaliyah, and these are facts. Here's the thing. Aaliyah was a minor. So you know who had to facilitate and who had to actually sign that NDA? Her parents. You know who negotiated the NDA and the terms of the settlement? Her parents. That's who did it. And her manager, and R. Kelly's manager, was Aaliyah's uncle. Her daddy was a record label executive. So what do you think that they did in order to sign a non-disclosure agreement where we ain't talking about this shit ever again? What you think they did? They got his fucking royalties for that motherfucking 12-play album. And I think it might have been that first one too. I ain't sure. But I know they got 12 play. There you go. There you go. If that ain't, fuck the fact that you got him dead to rights for criminal, for criminal charges. Fuck all that. Your daughter was fucking this dude and got fucked by this dude, and he committed a crime. Statutory rape. He then married her. You got him dead to rights. Y'all could have put this motherfucker under the jail. What'd you do? You took the money. What are these brocos trying to do? Get some money.
Because I think there are so many young black girls who've been hurt, that what it would mean to know that Aaliyah was hurt that way too.
I mean, you know, Aaliyah and I were seeing each other when she passed. We were very serious. You know, we talked about getting married. You know, she was my best friend. You know, she taught me how to love to the extent that I know how to love now. You know, there's a lot of people out there. She just said he was a bad man, and she left it at that. I'm just saying it just made her so uncomfortable that I couldn't know about it because of the situation, but I just wouldn't have been able to tolerate, you know, knowing certain things and being in the same room with certain people, you know what I mean? Unless they begging me not to. So I had to get therapy over that. If, like, people would have protected Aaliyah, so many other girls wouldn't have got touched.
Wow. Now, I totally agree with that shit. If Aaliyah parents would have stood the fuck up, because they not only had the evidence, but they also had the power. They also had the financial standing to do it. They could have hired the best of the lawyers if need be, if the prosecuting attorney wouldn't have did it. They could have locked this dude the fuck up. And they didn't. They didn't because they wanted the money. Imagine if they would have stopped back then in what was that, 93, 94? Imagine if they would have stopped it back then and just locked him up. We wouldn't have heard shit else from R. Kelly. It wouldn't have been shit else to talk about. It would have been done. And they were willing to let this motherfucker go because they got paid for it. So don't try to put this shit and say, yeah, R. Kelly need to die. I hope he die and burn in hell. Don't put this shit on him. Look at what this shit is, y'all. This is about the money. Because the criminal lawsuit that they had, the criminal suit that they had against him, they had him dead to rights. They had money. They had fame. They had power. They had a beautiful little girl who everybody would have thought was just the most innocent little thing and would have believed anything that came out that little girl's mouth. She could have testified against him and they would have buried Rob under the jail. They would have buried that dude under the jail. 25 years old, 26 years old, and you married this little girl? Come on here now. You let me find out that my daughter was sleeping with a 25-year-old dude and then she married a 25-year-old dude. I don't give no fuck. If I know that he took advantage of her, if I know that he was manipulating her, using her, and mistreating her, motherfucker, you going under the jail. And if she's still in love with your ass, she can hate me. Nigga, she'll get up with you when she turned 18. How about that? Other than that, nigga, your ass about to do a bid. Well, how about he give you some... Nigga, you doing a bid. How much time in the motherfucking cell is you getting? That's my question, your honors. And yes, I put an S on honor. That's it. Unless I don't give a shit. Or unless I see that my daughter was a fucking thought and I see that my daughter was chasing this motherfucker. How did you meet him, sweetheart? Oh, we jumped off the bus. Okay, then what happened? Oh, we went to his house. When did you go to his house? When I told you that I was staying over Teresa's house, but instead I went over there. And wait, you told me you was at Teresa's house from Friday to Sunday. You was at this nigga's studio the whole time? Yeah, I lied. Oh, okay, so you wanted the dick. Oh, okay. So you wanted to fuck this dude. That's what you did. Oh, okay. Sorry, Mr. Kelly. My daughter's a whore. I'm sorry. I apologize. You just took advantage of the situation. Any man would. I'm sorry. She was gonna fuck somebody, apparently. Might as well be you, huh? That's the reality of it. Especially with these girls not being virgins. They already out here fucking. They already fucking the basketball player. They already fucking the neighborhood rapper. They already fucking the neighborhood drug dealer. They already fucking they motherfucking mama's boyfriend. They already fucking they uncles. They already fucking they brothers. They already fucking they pastors. They already fucking any and everybody that can give them some shit and that's taking advantage of them. All the while, who's watching? Mom. Well, it happened to me. Well, you can't walk in my shoes. I didn't think it would happen like that. And yes, Miss Fat, Aaliyah was fucking Jay-Z, Timberland, and Dame Dash all around the same goddamn time. But she was grown at that point. That's what she want to do? Go ahead. Everybody talk about how Rihanna was fucking some of everybody. She's grown. Go ahead. Do what you do. But don't come back and say you a victim. Don't do that. Hey, we got 216 people watching. Click that like button. We got 148 likes. Let's get them likes up, people. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
You understand what I'm saying? And whether they know they're in a bad place or not, the fact that they were able to get touched meant they were in a bad place. And they would have been able to get help earlier. You know, you shouldn't have to always learn from pain. Sometimes you could learn from other people. Like, Aaliyah was like the sacrificial lamb for all that, because she didn't deserve none of that. You know, it was a good soul, good girl, and wasn't even really so, like, resentful. Like, let that man live, but just keep him the away from me. That's all she wanted. She was just happy to be away. And, you know, I know the whole story. You know what I'm saying? I know it was the cover-up and all of that. But how did that cover it up? It just made the conversation less crazy. Like, he married a child. So how you still... that was a...
Hold on, Awoken Mind. That's not true. They didn't date for no damn 6 years. I know that shit. They wasn't together for no goddamn 6 years. I don't know when, but they wasn't together for no 6 years. Because if she was 6, she wasn't 16 with Dame Dash. I don't know how the numbers or where you got them numbers from, but that's not true. They wasn't together for that goddamn long. They might have been fucking or some shit, but I don't know about them being a couple. I thought that they got together when she came out with the Rock the Boat album. That's when I thought that they got together. So that's all I'm saying. So I don't know. You can show some facts and show that and Google that or something and show me that, email that to me. I agree, but to my knowledge, they wasn't together for 6 years.
Headline. That was like a rumor. That was something talked about like it was normal. It wasn't like ill disgusting. You married a 13-year-old. It was like, oh, you married Aaliyah? She's
What's
13.
up, Chris?
15.
Yeah, but the 15 is 13, man.
No, I just want to make sure you're...
15, 13, anything under 18 is disgusting. You know,
15.
Yeah, but the 15 is 13, man.
No, I just want to make sure you're...
15, 13.
You hear this shit, and it's like, I don't know what it is. And I respect Dame Dash for what he's, the part he's played in hip hop and the shit he's done. He's done some never before done, shit that's been seen before. He's made his mark in hip hop. But to me, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seems like now he's just a bitter motherfucker. It really does. It seems like he's just a bitter ass dude. Every show I see him talk on, every interview I see him do, it's like he has like this subtle stank ass attitude to where he's like angry, but ain't shit he can really do about being angry. And it's just like, man, dude, like it seems like he's always got a bad fucking attitude. And he's just like, yeah, it's 15, 13 is 15. It's all it's fucking saying to me. It's like, dude, he's challenging you on what you're saying. It's like he's having dialogue, but he's like that in every interview. Just watch some of the shit that he's in. He always has a moment to where he's just like angry or like he's just bitter. I don't know what it is. I guess he mad at Jay-Z still and he just ain't let that shit go because of however they business fell apart and all that shit. And Jay-Z did some snake shit. But it's like he just like got this anger about him, man, where he's like not a happy dude at all. He talks that shit, but he don't display that shit.
Anything under 18 is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, that she was a child, bro.
And why is he dressed like a motherfucking parochial school kid or some shit. I don't fucking know. This ain't about Dane. It's wild, man.
Yeah, I remember when Tiffany called me and she was in pain, and I said, baby, you don't got to hurt. You don't got to do this. I said, if that's Robert's baby, then all you got to do is do this and do that. And there's people that'll help you with that. He'll hurt. Make him hurt, honey. Don't you hurt over that. I don't want to see Tiffany hurt herself because Tiffany was signed to me as an artist.
She had become pregnant and she didn't know who the father was. And she...
Wait, that's 2 bombs. How the fuck or why in the fuck would she be signed to this dude as an artist if Kales was supposed to be the one that was supposed to put her on? And then who else is she obviously fucking if she's pregnant and was just, I was being forced to fuck R. Kelly for all this time, but now you pregnant and don't know who the daddy is? What the fuck is that about? Who else could be the daddy? I don't know. Let's hear and see if we can find out. Now, if that ain't no wild shit, I don't know what the fuck is.
A paternity test.
And so I was thinking, well, maybe I should ask.
But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation less crazy. Like, he married a child. But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation less crazy. Like, he married. But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation. But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation. But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation. But how does that cover it up? It just made the conversation.
I'm sorry, I was
less
trying to
crazy.
move
Like,
the
he
shit
married
up.
a child.
Fuck it, I'm gonna leave it.
So how you still? That was a headline. That was like a rumor. That was something talked about like it was normal. It wasn't like ill disgusting. You married a 13-year-old. It was like, oh, you married Aaliyah? She's 13.
15.
Yeah, but the 15 is 13, man.
No, I just want to make sure you're...
15, 13, anything under 18 is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, that, she was a child, bro.
I want to hear this shit again about this girl being pregnant. And yes, I believe that manager, I was about to get there, Shannon. I believe he was hitting it too.
I remember when Tiffany called me and she was in pain, and I said, baby, you don't got...
And here's why I'm going to say that, Shannon, because this nigga is saying, she already said, I couldn't go nowhere. It was just me in the camp with Rob, and it was just us. The wagons got circled, and it was a smaller circle now. It wasn't just people coming and going. It was just us. So if it's just y'all, why the fuck are you signed with this nobody ass nigga? This nigga ain't shit without R. Kelly. Why are you signed to this nigga as an artist? And for what reason? This nigga ain't got money to put you on and to take care of you and to give you a signing bonus and all that shit. All that shit is coming from Kale. If you was really out there, if you was really trying to get it, why would you be signed to this nigga? This nigga's a tour manager and a personal assistant. Which is why your ass ain't got no fucking album now.
Hurt. You don't got to do this. I said, if that's Robert's baby, then all you got to do is do this and do that. And there's people that'll help you with that. He'll hurt. Make him hurt, honey. Don't you hurt over that. I don't want to see Tiffany hurt herself because Tiffany was signed to me as an artist.
She had become pregnant and she didn't know who the father was. And she wanted Kelly to take a paternity test.
And so I was thinking, well, maybe I should ask him. All right, I'll ask him. And I called Robert. He was getting ready to go on stage. And he told me, you and me both better know that that's not my baby. He actually took the time. He put the audience on hold. He put the show on hold to make sure that I understood what he needed me to understand. Take a blood test, and that if I thought that was his baby, I better quickly remove that from my mind. And I said, okay. And he said, now tell me you love me. I said, I love you. And when I got off the phone, I was like thinking to myself, how did that conversation wind up like that? How did that conversation end up with me telling him I love him? I was angry with him because I really didn't understand why he wouldn't do that for me. There is a part of me that broke. I did. I broke.
Within weeks of that last straw, as she called it, that conversation. She was depressed and she tried to kill herself by taking a handful of pills. Her mother was home. She wound up in the hospital. It was a really bad period for her, as she tells it.
I said, Tiffany, you don't have to do this to yourself. You don't have to hurt yourself. You can go to see people if Robert did this to you.
Yes, DJ Just J, you are correct, sir. That means she was sleeping with multiple dudes within that 14-day span. That means that she was sleeping the fuck around, which means just like it was before she fucked R. Kelly, before she met R. Kelly, she was already fucking. She was already fucking different dudes. And at this point, because she said, once he started being with Aaliyah, she didn't give a fuck what was going on because she didn't have to fuck him no more. And that lets you know that she was fucking probably somebody else in the camp. Because when you in a camp like that, it's usually a lot of close-knit fucking that's going on. Ain't no motherfucking way that she's sitting here talking about, yeah, she didn't know if the baby was out. Why wouldn't you know? Why wouldn't you know? If this the one you've been forced to sleep with all this time, you've been having to sleep with this dude all this time, and he was sleeping with somebody else, why would you even be putting yourself in the mix? You would think this bitch would be like a motherfucking stealth bomber flying under the radar. I don't like him. I ain't attracted to him. I definitely don't want to fuck him, so I ain't gonna be around. I'm signed to this dude here, the manager dude. He's my manager, so I ain't really got to do too much with him. You wasn't bringing girls around no more, right? Exactly. Your ass wanted to still be in the fucking mix. Flashing lights.
Hi, I'm attorney Susan E. Loggins. If you have a case, we will fight for you.
I felt like I needed to be empowered because I felt like he knocked me down. I wound up going into the office and speaking to Ian Alexander.
Tiffany Hawkins was the first person to bring this to the attention of anybody, and nobody believed her.
I think a grown man having sex with young girls repeatedly means that there is a problem. And I would think to myself, how is he still getting away with this?
And why wouldn't you leave? Because this is years now. Mind you, this ain't, 4-5 months. This ain't no 8 months, man. This is years that this bitch was around and was rolling with this shit. Why wouldn't you leave? You know why? Because you sold your motherfucking moral compass down the fucking river because you wanted to stay to be around the money and the fame and the power. That's what you wanted to do. Because at the end of the day, you definitely had some leeway with R. Kelly. Plain and simple.
Does not the whole world know that this man is a pedophile? My witness list consisted of Aaliyah, Javante, and several other women, people in Robert's camp. Definitely enough for me to be taken seriously, but I wasn't.
I called and called and called the office of the state's attorney, not a word back.
That was a big blowback. Like the state has said, with all this evidence, whatever. We don't care.
We knew we had to take action when the state didn't do anything. What Kelly Predatory was serial and needed to be stopped. And so what we had to do was file a lawsuit against him and the people that he worked for.
Okay. Now you see she didn't file a criminal lawsuit against R. Kelly. She filed a civil lawsuit. So if you got all these witnesses to show that this dude is literally committing statutory rape, why wouldn't you want to file a criminal lawsuit? You can literally go and say, I want him arrested. I want to press charges. I have witnesses. And the motherfucking prosecuting attorney got to say, okay, well, shit, this motherfucker got witnesses. If y'all motherfuckers don't lock this dude up, then I'm going to put y'all motherfuckers on blast. We're going to be on the news talking about how y'all ain't pressing charges against a known statutory rapist. Why not do that? Because you want the money. That's all. You got taken down, like she said, I was broken. And the only way you can put yourself back together again is with some dollar bills and a fat ass check. That's the facts. And I ain't even mad at you. That's the way you're trying to go. But you can't try to be the innocent victim when you was a part of this shit. when you played an active role in getting this shit cracking. You was the cable guy, man. You was.
Tiffany Hawkins then files a civil suit. The major difference between criminal law and civil law is that criminal laws regulate crimes or wrongs committed against the government. Civil laws regulate disputes between private parties.
We knew that our only...
Hold on. No. That's true, but that's not the way that it goes. Criminal law means your ass has committed a crime. That means there is a law or a statute that is in place and you broke it. Like possessing a controlled substance. That's a criminal offense, not a civil offense. That's it. Now, when you're talking about a civil offense, hey, you ran me over with your car. It was an accident, but you still hit me with your car, and now I have suffered damages from that effect of something that you did, and I want you to take financial responsibility for it. That's what it is. You are suing this person or taking this person to court because you want to be financially compensated for what this person did to you. That's civil court, and that's criminal court.
Avenue of redress was a civil lawsuit seeking money damages. We sued R. Kelly, we sued Jive Records, Zomba, Blackground. We sued Kelly for the assault and battery. We sued all these other places for negligence. It's an imperfect system, but it's the best system that's out there, and it's what we have.
Tiffany gave a deposition that was described to us as hair-raising that lasted 7.5 hours.
On the record, she testified that she had sex with R. Kelly while she was with other minors in her presence, and she testified under oath that they engaged in group sexual encounters together with other minors. Kelly's lawyers threw me out of their office, so they knew they were screwed.
R. Kelly and his lawyers quickly offered her a $250,000 cash settlement, contingent upon her signing a non-disclosure agreement.
Bad men, particularly men who are accused of trafficking, abusing, raping young girls and women, there's usually some financial aspect that helps you evade justice. You don't operate like that out in the open, essentially, for so long without some kind of monetary attachment.
I left Susan Logan's office because I always want to do my best, and I really feel like I was denied the opportunity to do the best for Tiffany Hawkins in this case. Paying money for silence victimizes women.
You may have a point, sir. My question to you is then, if that's true, why take the money? So she went, had all of the evidence. They offered her $250,000. That's $250,000, people. And she took the money. Why are we hearing from her today? I'm going to tell you why. Because she's a broke bitch now. That's why. Because you ain't heard shit from Tiffany Hawkins from the time she met Kelly in 91 till now. Yeah. Broke bitch. Just what I said. Like I said from the beginning. That's the only reason why she's talking about this shit right now. The bitch is broke.
Susan, as far as I know, has brokered settlements for silence for victims of R. Kelly's abuse.
Do you know what your rights are? If you're not sure, call us and tell us the facts.
Loggins began what I call a sort of settlement factory. Girls would come to her with charges of underage them to a private detective agency in suburban Hinsdale, make them take a lie detector test. A settlement would be struck, a non-disclosure agreement would be signed, and the girl promised never to speak about it. I believe there are more than a dozen of those settlements that we don't know about because there were not court papers. Loggins has never given me the number. She has only said numerous, with a little bit of a smirk.
You know, having the money was great. That did not take the pain away. It was not the end all be all, you know? It didn't fix everything like I thought it would, you know? It didn't fix everything.
So what the fuck else do you want him to do that's gonna fix this? So here's my thing, y'all. You took the money. All of y'all that took the money. You signed the NDA and you're back now because what? You broke and you want attention and money. And not necessarily in that order. That's the problem with this shit. That's the problem I have with these people. We're okay with you taking the money then, but now you ain't got no more. So now you want to find another way to hustle off this shit that happened to your ass 20 years ago. Bitch, please. This is just some of the dumbest shit that I've seen, that people are literally siding with this bitch. And they're okay with these bitches coming forward again after they already got paid. Because if these bitches really gave a fuck about it happening to some other girl, if they really gave a fuck about speaking out, if they really gave a fuck about Me Too, them hoes would have Me Too'd this nigga way back then and be like, fuck your money, Rob. What you did was wrong. And I want your ass to go to jail for this shit. That's what they would have did. If they really the social justice warriors that they claim that they are, if they really the ones that saying, I'm doing this for all the women, for all the young girls out here, I'm doing this because what he did was wrong. If they were really like that, then these ain't shit bitches wouldn't have took the fucking money. Plain and simple. If you're really in it for that reason, you don't take the money. But you took the money because you wanted the money. And if that's how you wanted to deal with it, you wanted to take the money and forget about it and go live your life, $250,000, hey, go right ahead. That's what you do. But don't come back now and basically be an Indian giver when your ass ain't got shit else to give back. You want to come back and take it all back, keep the $250 million, and then say, yeah. Bitch, you want to really prove your point to me? Show up with a check for $250,000 and say, I'm giving him his money back. Because what he did was wrong, and 20 years it took me to get to this point, but now I realize that what he did was wrong, so I'm giving him his $250,000 back, and I want his ass to go to jail. Do that if you really are in it for the people. If you're really in it for the Me Too movement. If you're really in it so that you can get this nigga off the street so he won't do it again, because back then you didn't give a fuck. Just like you didn't give a fuck when Aaliyah was getting fucked. You didn't give a fuck because you an ain't shit bitch. And that's exactly what all these hoes are. They just broke now. They are not fucking victims. You can't be a victim when you aiding and abetting. You can't be a victim when you taking the money and quiet until your ass spend it all, then you broke. You ain't no victim now. You just an old hoe who need to move on with their lives. You did your whole shit, move on.
There were times during my lawsuit that I still, I wanted to make it go away. There was times where
you could have dropped the lawsuit. See how these bitches be lying? You could have just dropped the lawsuit and be like, I'm done. I don't want to do this no more. I'm out. Straight Sugar Hill the shit. Ray Nathan. I don't want to do this no more. I'm out. That's all you could have done. It was your lawsuit. You could have dropped it and been gone. But you didn't, because you wanted that fat ass check. $250,000 will make a broke bitch do some insane, crazy shit.
Oh, I wanted to go back to him.
You just said you wanted to go back to him. So that lets you know it's not all this nigga's fault. And I'm going to tell this, in being fair, I definitely believe that this bitch is mentally disturbed. With the life that she's led, I'm quite sure that this bitch is in need of some extreme, heavy counseling. Absolutely. And so is Rob. So is R. Kelly's. That's all I'm saying. It's cool when this shit happens with women and women can say, oh, I was a victim too. Oh, I had postpartum depression. Oh, I made some bad choices in my life and I'm sorry for it, but I just didn't know what to do. Oh, we make a way for them. But when it's a man that's doing it, now he's still the worst motherfucker ever since the devil, and we need to get his ass and take everything from him. And speaking of NDAs, the fact that this dude, the fucking journalist dude, wanted to know how many NDAs was there, why? Ain't nobody asking about how many NDAs Charlie Sheen got. Ain't nobody asking about how many hoes done settled for Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen was giving these bitches HIV knowingly. Now, yes, you can live and manage with HIV and live a longer life than you used to with the shit before it turned into full-blown AIDS. But Charlie Sheen was knowingly infecting women by the dozen. And what did they do? Oh, well, you know, he just signed a couple of NDAs and just gave him some motherfucking, you know, some checks here and there, paid him off, cool, everybody signed an NDA, we go our separate ways. Where is the Surviving Charlie Sheen 2-part docuseries? Do y'all realize they've done 2 separate docuseries? 2 series of shows about this one man. But ain't nobody did no motherfucking docuseries on Charlie Sheen and his NDAs? How come this journalist ain't finding that out? Because those women were clearly victims because they was grown as fuck and was getting raw dicked by Charlie Sheen, and Charlie Sheen knew he had AIDS. That's a fucking crime in most states. Until California just changed the law. I wonder how that shit got done. It's no longer considered murder now in California. I got AIDS and I know it. I got HIV and I know it, and I sleep with you unprotected and don't tell you. I do not get charged as a criminal. Didn't know that, did you? Yep.
But yeah, there was actually a time I called him. He got on the phone and we talked probably for 5 minutes, and he said, I don't think we should be talking. We got off the phone and
So bitch, you suing this nigga for an undisclosed, for $250,000. You taking this nigga in and out the court, and you talking about you still wanted to be with him, and you called him so that you could talk to him because you just wanted to hear his voice, see how he was doing. Come on now, man. You gave more of a fuck about him than you did Aaliyah. Facts. Finax.
haven't talked to him since then.
Survivors of sexual violence do not want the perpetrator to go to prison. They want the harm to stop. They want the power dynamics to shift. Oftentimes they want to be loved because
if R. Kelly if he lost all his money and was living in the motherfucking projects of Chicago, you put R. Kelly in Argyle Gardens, he's still gonna be fucking a 14-year-old girl if he get the chance. He's still gonna fuck a 16-year-old girl if he gets the chance. So that whole thing about a victim don't want the person to go to jail, they want the person to bullshit. If a man drags and rapes a bitch in the alley, that bitch ain't saying, oh, I don't want him to go to jail though, Your Honor. I just don't want him to do it no more. Bullshit. She gonna be like, yes, I want him to go to jail. And I want him to get raped by some men. That's the least that they gonna say. You see how these motherfuckers are trying to spin this bullshit ass narrative? You absolutely should want this motherfucker to go to jail so that he can't do it to nobody else. And he can't do it to your ass. And you don't have to see this motherfucker living a good life because of what he did to you, if what he did to you was so terrible. But you don't care about none of that shit when you got 250 grand in the bank, now do you? Hell no, you don't.
These are also perpetrators who wooed them and swept them off their feet. They consider to be a...
He didn't woo them. They wooed themselves. Them bitches was dreaming about this dude. They was thinking about this dude. They couldn't wait to be around this dude. They lied and schemed to their parents to be around this man. He didn't woo them. They wooed themselves. He didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. They hoodwinked themselves. They bamboozled themselves. They led themselves astray. That's what the fuck they did. They did that shit themselves. Half of you motherfucking grown-ass women right now get a call from Denzel Washington, your ass is gone on a plane. And you know he married. You know he married. Let a bitch right now get a call from LeBron James. You know this dude is married and is a family man, and he tell you, I want you on a plane to meet me in motherfucking Caracas. Or meet me in Dubai. Bitch is going. On a fucking plane, she gone. Girl, it's LeBron James. The fuck? Think about all of the hoes that get together every February to fly to wherever the fuck All-Star Weekend is, and their hopes of trying to fuck on or get pregnant by an NBA nigga. I'm trying to get me some NBA dick this weekend, girl. I got 3 days to do it. Right, Just Jay. R. Kelly didn't land on Young Pussy. Young Pussy was landing on R. Kelly. That's what happened. These women will fuck any man that has means. Tell me the last time you saw a woman talking about, I ain't gonna fuck him, but he got all that money, he a millionaire, he trying to get this pussy, but I ain't fucking him. Tell me the last time you seen it. Bitch, know a nigga married, still fucking. Just like that shit that happened with Russell Simmons. Russell Simmons pulls his dick out in the office with your ass, and your ass come back to work? Come on here now. Why? Why would you go back to work? You young, beautiful lady, you can go get a job anyway. You got your education already. Why do you need to go work for Russell Simmons and he's pulling his dick out, having you sit on his lap like you one of his bitches in a fucking meeting, and your dumb ass is doing it? Why? Because you want to be connected to the shit he got. If you stop being such a fucking parasite for a half a second, maybe you could save your dignity and your respect. Maybe you could keep your morals intact if you stop being so fucking willing to siphon off of another nigga's power, money, or fame or celebrity.
Boyfriend, they consider to be someone who loves them, consider to be somebody who's in their family.
I wanted to run back to the Robert that took care of me. The Robert that...
That's what you wanted. A nigga to take care of your ass. Worst nigga in the world, just what she was just saying, but she want this nigga to take care of her. Why? Why would you want that? Who wants that? Why would you want a motherfucker to take care of you, and this is the worst nigga in the world that you wasn't attracted to, you didn't want to sleep with, but you want him to take care of your punk ass? Why would he do it? What's in it for him?
That I thought loved me. You know, the Robert that I felt like protected me. You know, he didn't want me to be on the streets, and he didn't want me to be out there gangbanging. I felt...
Bitch, that's what your mama's supposed to do and your daddy's supposed to do. That ain't R. Kelly's job. Do you hear her? This is what I mean by these motherfuckers got real serious issues before they even get into other shit. He didn't want me gangbanging. He didn't want me out in the streets. Bitch, you supposed to be saying that about your parents. Not about a 25-year-old nigga that you know is telling you to bring young hoes to fuck. How do you expect that dude to just consistently do the right thing? Seriously. And please click that like button if you're watching. I appreciate it. And click that donate button if you like to. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. But we got to get better than that, man. And then we going to call this person a victim? Come on, man.
Felt like he wanted the best for me, and he just did not come through. So while all the sex was going on, there was more sex and not enough singing.
And you was steady fucking and not singing. At what point do you realize and do you understand, maybe it's an early Tuesday morning where you say, over the past 6 months to a year, I've been fucking way more than I've been singing. Aaliyah's gone. She's dead. Whatever the case may be. I ain't been on no album. I ain't got no single. I've been signed to this tour manager, nigga, and I ain't been doing nothing but fucking. I ain't been singing a goddamn note on a track. Maybe I should leave. When do you have that conversation with yourself? That ain't up to R. Kelly. That's not his fault. That's your ass trying to get something for nothing. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Had to do something. Motherfucker punch you in the mouth.
Part of her dad with that lawsuit. She gave up her opportunity to become a recording artist. She gave up her friendship with Robert. She gave up everything that made her smile.
Okay. In case you didn't know, $250,000 back in the 90s would have been more than enough for any bitch to not only record, but to self-produce, promote her own album. $250,000 could have gotten, that bitch could have gotten anybody to produce her an album to motherfucking be a star. She didn't have to give up shit. $250,000, you can buy a producer. If you want to, you can buy a studio. If you want to, you can get a record label. You could have did anything with that much money back in the 90s. Bitch, you could have been a star. If you was ever any kind of talented, you could have put that money into yourself and you could have made something on yourself. $250,000. You could have got studio time. You could have got tracks. You could have got production. You could have been going to Chicago Tracks 2, recording your own album. You already had the connections with your manager. But what was you doing? Fucking other niggas and not knowing who your baby daddy was. Going to recruit hoes for R. Kelly to fuck. That's what you was doing.
She gave up her love for the sound of music. The music don't play the same way to her no more. The beat stopped. Tiffany could dance worth a darn. But Tiffany can sing.
So can Jill Scott, goddammit. Sang her ass off. Ain't never seen her motherfucking ass dance a motherfucking step, have you? She'll grind the hell out of a microphone like it's a dick. But you ain't never seen that motherfucker dance. But she can sing her ass off.
She stopped singing. She tried. It just, the passion wasn't there anymore. We're grown girls, but we're still little girls that cry silently.
If that's the case, go get you some counseling, bitch. Why not go get counseling? If you had identified the fact that you are a grown woman, but you still a little girl that cries on the inside, who the fuck fixes that? That's some counseling shit. That's some I need therapy shit. Not I need to go on Lifetime to help myself. Let me go on Lifetime because I'm still a grown man, but I have a little boy that cries on the inside of me. Yes, I'm 45, but there is a little boy that cries on the inside of me because of what has happened to me. I've lost the note. The beats of life has stopped for me. Then I need to go sit on somebody's couch instead of somebody's director chair to do a goddamn scene for a documentary. That's where I need to be.
If you weren't there, you'll never understand it.
You'll never understand it. Whispers is trying to tell y'all to make it seem more dramatic. That if she whispers with her eyes kind of red and looking a little watery, that you'll really feel sorry for her. When in fact, all y'all motherfucking hoes knew what was going on and you played along. Because you liked being in the limelight. You liked getting fucked by these grown-ass men. You liked hanging out and going to the best of everything. That's what you liked. You liked being able to say, I was in the studio and Rob made that hit, so now I was in the in crowd. You liked that. So now I can sit here and just whisper to y'all as an old bitch and be like, if you were never there, oh my God, you would never know what it was like being there. Get the fuck out my face. On the internet. Ain't nan 10 rolled off this motherfucker face, off any of these bitches' faces. And you would think, and they say he never touched Javante. You would think that he did. Javante knew better. That's what the fuck she did. She could have offered to suck a dick. She could have offered to ride some dick somewhere. She could have. But I'm sure she was fucking somebody else in the camp and she didn't want to fuck R. Kelly, which is why she didn't. R. Kelly probably didn't take a liking to her ass, which is why she probably didn't. It is what it is, man. Kels was probably like, man, I ain't fucking with her. I got all these other fine motherfuckers to deal with. I ain't fucking with her. I'm good. Leave her for the homies. Click that like button while we watching this shit, y'all. I need to get them likes up. We had 182 with 235 watching.
Names, but
let's do this.
Oh, absolutely. He couldn't do this by himself. Everyone knew, or
how the security guard who was working there just said he couldn't have did it by himself. Nigga, you was there. Did y'all hear that? He clearly couldn't have done it by himself. He clearly couldn't have done all of this by himself. Nigga, you was there. Your fat face ass was right up in the mix. Nigga, really?
Most people in that camp knew that
you was in the camp. Oh my God. He's really trying to act like I was there, but I wasn't there. You don't see me. I'm the ninja security guard. You was right there.
A lot of these girls were underage.
I remember being called into Jive late one night. We were brought into a conference room and they said, hey guys, we have a problem.
As for the video, it's now the hottest selling tape and DVD.
Going on in the tape, it's horrifying.
During the time of the explosive tape, I remember them playing 15, 20 seconds. At that point, my boss has said, we've seen enough. You know, there are just some things that I think you can't unsee. Right now, I can see the...
Oh, let me tell you something, Falcon. And anybody who's been around any type of environment like that, been in the music business, been around celebrities, especially when it comes to artists, young black artists, young rock stars, young whatever, anybody who's been around that, you know for a fact, and correct me if I'm lying, y'all, but y'all know that there's always some sex going on in the camp with that's just, hey, this girl didn't get picked, but she in the crew and the crew gonna fuck too, and they fuck. Plenty of times. There are plenty of times when girls come along and they see, if I don't get chose by one of these niggas, I gotta go home and don't want to go home and fuck the motherfucking security guard. Will fuck the assistant. Will fuck whoever. Whether they high, drunk, partying, whatever. There's always somebody fucking somebody who ain't no star because they just in the place. Plenty of times you will see girls fucking a dude that was just with a dude disguised as another dude. You will see that shit happening. So yes, I would definitely say that them security guards fucked one or two of them girls along the way. Absolutely, totally. Definitely.
Those 12 to 15 seconds that I watched, I can see the record, the gold record plaques in the background. I can hear the squeaking of the chair. I can remember what she was wearing and what she wasn't. I remember seeing the camera being set up and the focus being set up. In a panic, you know, they said to me and another executive, you guys need to go to Chicago. And you guys need to buy up all the tapes you can find. And we did. We went to Chicago and, you know, I felt like I was back on the block. Like, yo, what you got, son? You know, kind of thing. You know, and just buying up as many tapes as you could. And I remember one of my bosses telling me that, Jimmy, don't get caught up because if Rob goes down, people are going to get fired. I was like, well, why? You know, it's not our fault. You know, and he said, Rob keeps the lights on around here. And I confronted Rob about it one day. It wasn't me. You know, he said it was my brother. And he said it was his twin brother. He was so believable that in my head, I'll never forget this, I said to my friend, I was like, yo, you know what? I never actually asked him if he had a twin brother, so maybe he did have a twin brother. And then you start to go back, and I'm like, okay, Jimmy, you were being manipulated for an individual that I am revering. And I accepted the fact that something that he said didn't make sense.
And I'm going to tell y'all this, because I was definitely around when this shit broke, when this shit got out. And when niggas said, hey, man, that tape that everybody saying is R. Kelly, that ain't really R. Kelly. That's his twin brother. And all of us knew, like, R. Kelly ain't got no fucking twin brother. He got an older brother and a younger brother that look like him. They look alike. They favor each other. But that motherfucker ain't got no twin, nigga. We put that motherfucking tape on, and we saw that shit. And in that first time when he got in the frame, because he set up the camera, and you can see him in the little room, the jacuzzi room. You can see him in there, and he's setting up the camera. So he's like, he got the little viewfinder thing flipped to where he can see himself, and he's sitting there like moving himself and positioning himself to see where he gotta be. So you get to literally see R. Kelly. If you ain't never seen it before, you literally get to see him setting up the camera and positioning himself so he'll know where his mark is to where he's gonna do what he's gonna do. And the minute we saw that, we was like, man, that's that nigga, man. Get the fuck out of here. No, man, that shit, look, you gotta look at how grainy it is. Niggas was like, no, that shit is grainy, dog. You really can't. Man, you out your motherfucking mind. That's Rob, nigga, right there. Get the fuck out of here. Who else gonna be in Rob's house recording themselves acting like they Rob? Nigga, please. That's Rob, nigga. You can tell somebody else that shit. Nigga, I done seen a nigga in person. I done seen a nigga right there. That's that nigga. Yes, that's him. Everybody knew it. So this whole shit about it being, that's my twin, man. That's what it is, man. It wasn't me. Man, get the fuck out of here. I was like, it could be his brother until I saw it. And I said, hell no.
Because I don't want it to be real. I don't want this to be happening to you.
I hadn't been around Robert since 1996. I hadn't been around Robert. I hadn't been on tour with him. I hadn't, been concerts. I hadn't seen Robert in years. And then my name ended up being brought up in the situation.
Ed Genson got on television and said that the guy in the video looks like his younger brother as well. It could possibly be him. Kerry he was furious.
My brother wanted me to do something pertaining to this case that was going to leave me behind bars. You know what I'm saying? To lie, to purge myself in the court of law.
His attorney said that it was me in the videotape. That was the argument. It's not true. This is real. This is not a joke. It's not a game. This is my life. And I know my mama turning over in her grave because this is not how she meant it to be for us.
I arranged for Robert and Kerry to talk. So we went out to his house in Olympia Fields.
When I got there, it's only him in this big long room in this house, and it's a swimming pool. You just want me to just get in the swimming pool with you. Robert asked me to get in the pool because he thought that I was wearing a wire. And that's why I came out and said it to him. I said, man, if you want to ask me, am I wearing a wire? Just say it, be a man. He was asking me, man, you need to say that was you. Commit a crime, pretty much, to say that was me on the tape with a minor. Purge myself in the court of law, and risk jail time for some stuff that didn't have anything to do with me. You need to say this and that and the other. I'll buy you a car. I'll give you a record deal and $50,000. I said, man, let me tell you something, man. I said, you ain't got enough money for me to say that's me. Because it ain't worth me selling my soul.
Indicted. There's been a warrant issued for his arrest, and the Chicago Police Department is currently seeking to arrest Mr. Kelly.
Florida sheriff's officers arrived to serve the Illinois warrant and arrest Kelly. When
Hey, Boss of Queen, you said it was grainy as hell. It probably wasn't. Let me tell you something. It was enough to where they prosecuted his ass, and it would have been enough for any jury to believe that shit. The only reason why they didn't get him was because the motherfucking girl on there said it wasn't me, and they had no evidence at that point, and they wasn't even around to be subpoenaed. You know why they couldn't be subpoenaed? Because they was in the fucking UK on holiday. That's why. They were literally out of the country. They were out of the country. How do you think some hood niggas just be out of the country? Because they got a fat ass motherfucking payday. Plain and simple. Yet another case of some parents serving up their kid and taking a check instead of prosecuting the motherfucker. Plain and simple. And I ain't even mad at them if that's what they felt they want. That was the best thing for them to do, is to, hey, we'll take this money, change our lives, move on with our lives, move our daughter out to wherever the fuck we gonna move to and live, or in Germany, wherever the fuck they was. They want to do that, fine. But I'm glad that that girl ain't coming back talking about she a victim now. I hope she don't.
When they arrested him, they searched the party house and found in a gym bag behind a door marked private do not enter an early digital camera. And they confiscated that camera, and on that camera were pictures of Kelly with an underage girl and a legal age woman. He was further indicted in Florida for additional counts of child pornography. He had an incredible stroke of good fortune. The judge in that case decided 6 months or so down the road that the sheriff's officers had done an illegal search and seizure. Even though they were coming to arrest a man on charges of making child pornography, and they found more child pornography, the judge kicked that case out.
That would be part of the discovery of the warrant. So yes, if the discovery of the warrant is they say, hey, look, we got a warrant, we got enough evidence to say, hey, we need to search this particular place. All right, well, what do you think the place? We want to search the garage. Okay, the discovery of your warrant is to the garage. That's what you search. That's where you have probable cause to search. That's what it is. That's what it is. Now, I didn't see the warrant, so I don't know what the scope of the warrant is, but I do know that if there is a scope in a warrant of what you can search, what you can, what areas you can access, that's what it is. Now, if they say, hey, you got carte blanche, tear apart the whole motherfucking estate, then you can. But if your warrant is saying you go here and you can only search this, you have to go back and get another warrant to do something else. And if you go outside of that warrant and you violate that warrant, any evidence that you find, they call that fruit of a poison tree. Anything that you find after that, it is not admissible in court and is going to get thrown out. So if a judge tells you, hey, you can go search this, you can go search the house. You go and search the house, don't find shit. You then walk up to the garage, kick open the garage door, and find 10 dead bodies in the motherfucker. That evidence now is tainted and cannot, even though you found it, even though they're going to take the bodies and take pictures and all that shit, they're going to process the crime scene with the 10 dead bodies in it. They cannot use that in a court of law because it is fruit from a poisonous tree. You did not have a warrant to search that particular part of the house or the property. That's law 101, I guess. I ain't no fucking lawyer by far. I took a handful of criminal justice classes, but I know that. So yeah, the police needs to be more thorough. The prosecuting attorney needs to know what they can and can't do so that a judge will say, hey, this is what you can do. This is what you can't do. You can search here, but you can't search there. Based on the probable cause that you have and the evidence that you presented me, you can't go do this. Well, we think it was, that's what you think. You have to come to me with a warrant for what you know, because if I don't, I'm violating this person's constitutional rights, which is, however, in case you didn't know, something that everybody has that is an American person, that is an American here on this soil. Queenie, you spitting hairs. I mean, not spitting hairs. That would mean you giving head. But you splitting hairs. Because even though if it was scrutinized, if that girl would have came to court and said, yes, Your Honor, that's me, they had his ass. Yes, that was Robert Kelly. Yes, we was together. Yes, I slept with him. Yes, we fucked. That was it. That's why they needed the girl. But the girl got little. She ghosted they whole motherfucking case and was gone. They tried to force her to testify. That's why she left the country. So you could say the tape was grainy. It was just like when they show you those pictures from crime scenes at gas stations. Those gas stations, some of that fucking footage in those pictures be grainy as fuck because the camera system ain't up to date. It's not in high definition. They show that shit all the time. All they need is just for a likeness to be seen in that video or in that picture or in that image to say, yes, that was that guy. They have the witnesses to corroborate that story. That's how that works. So it doesn't matter if it was grainy, moles was appearing or disappearing. That didn't matter. If that girl would have came and testified and said, yes, that was him. Yes, he did it. Yes, we had sex. That was all they needed. That's it. They would have had that shit wrapped up. It would have been over. What the hell is this? Is this a fucking commercial? Hell yeah, it is.
With that power over case, 2, 1 girl on 1 videotape.
When I began working at R. Kelly's home in Olympia Fields, there was this young girl playing in the backyard. Her family had a very close relationship with Robert. She would have been 14 or 15 because the timing of it, why I know, is that Robert bought her her first car when she was 16. There were times that this young girl slept over in the studio, but that wasn't alone. It was with a family member, and that's because her dad was there to play guitar at night on the songs. I never felt a need to report anything suspicious. I never saw anything that looked weird or odd. I never saw anything that made me uncomfortable.
Do y'all see how this shit is always coming back to the parents? It's the parents, man. They are the ones that are the fucking facilitators of this shit. That's how this shit is going down. Do y'all realize that this shit would not be happening if the parents were involved, if the parents were present? And the ones that are, they're letting the shit ride because they're getting paydays from it. This dude was working for R. Kelly, getting paid as a person playing the guitar. He was getting paid as a musician. His daughter's in the studio. She supposedly was supposed to be in the music too, supposed to be rapping. This is actually Sparkle's niece. So that's Sparkle's brother that's here playing with this shit. Brother or brother-in-law, whichever one. So it's all in the same game. These motherfuckers are all related. It's 6 degrees of separation like a motherfucker. How would I be at a studio with my daughter sleep here? How would it happen or come to be where I don't see my daughter? Maybe I got to make this money and I got to have my daughter stay with me because my wife at work or whatever, my baby mama at work, and I need my daughter to be with me. She going to be right there where I can see her motherfucking ass. She ain't going to be alone in no room where another nigga can roll up on her. I don't give no fuck. If I can't see my daughter, she ain't safe. But you know what? If I know this nigga like young girls, if I know that this nigga will fuck around and fuck my daughter and I can fuck around and take his ass for some money, I just might do it if I'm a ain't shit daddy. If I see that this nigga like young girls and I see that this nigga was controlling me and I'm Sparkle and I want a deal and I want a song and I want an album, I just might bring my niece around just so I can try to get my motherfucking foot in the door and get a piece of the motherfucking pie. Then I'll act like I didn't know.
My name is Dylan Eli.
I was R. Kelly's engineer at a studio, Chicago Tracks, and also at his house. When the sex tape came out, you know, like you hear someone knocking on the door, and that's very typical. Like, I actually like know the guy that you could recognize his voice, like that was knocking on the door, and like you would knock on the door and they would have a message for Rob. And so that's like happening while the like tape is kind of happening too. Really nothing changed as far as how we were working. I mean, it was like it came out, but of course we didn't say anything about it. Of course, you know, it was like business as usual. And the time leading up to the trial, I think we actually worked probably a little bit more. I mean, I would assume he was, you know, maybe working to kind of keep his mind off of, you know, the proceedings and, you know, all that kind of stuff. There was this one day we were in the control room at Tracks watching Chappelle's show. You know, Rob was in there. We would, you know, watch the show pretty religiously, and the Chappelle show, the famous skit came on where he's spoofing, you know, the R. Kelly sex tape. Rob was just, he didn't say turn it off. He just like, he watched the thing, and it was like awkward silence for a while. I mean, it felt like forever. You know, everyone's like, oh, you know, it was pretty intense and pretty crazy. Rob is probably the weirdest / most intense / most demanding artist I've ever worked for leading up to the trial. There were 2 women that lived pretty much full-time in the garage. They were there as long as I was working at Olympia Fields. I think it was kind of an unwritten rule that they weren't supposed to talk to us and we weren't supposed to talk to them. I know very specifically that the one that I would think was the youngest one, I know specifically that she was 21 because we had to buy a 21-year-old birthday cake one time and deliver it. I'm pretty sure that the birthday cake, the 21st birthday cake that we delivered to the garage was for the girl from the tape.
Wow. Wow. Seemed to be forced much at 21? Getting a cake delivered? Pretty sure she could have screamed and cried and said, help, get the police, I'm being trapped here. Trapped in the garage instead of trapped in the closet. There's a problem and I'm gonna solve it. And I'm like, God, please don't let this man open this garage door. He walked in the driveway and looked through the window. She knocked on the door and said, please help me. I said, bitch, hell no. I gotta keep my job. I'm mixing these songs down. I'm getting so much money. I'm going to fucking clown. So you gonna be in the garage. I'm not helping you get out the garage. Now you trapped in the garage. Come on, man.
Continued to be part of Kelly's circle, to come around, to stay with Kelly.
When I found out that the girl from the tape was living in the garage, it was kind of like, wow, that's some balls for sure. So yeah, it was a little bit crazy.
Wow. When I was forced to testify against R. Kelly, they asked me at the time, was the girl in the tape? And after what I saw and was forced in the room to see, I said, yes, that's her. Is that R. Kelly in the video? I think so. Yes, I think so. Well, how can you be sure? Well, 20 years old, you're scared to death. But what I can speculate on at this point in time in my life is that watching that video, I did watch 2 consensual people having sex. I did.
Dead giveaway. Dead giveaway. I used to eat ribs with this dude, but we didn't have a clue that them girls in that garage. And they said, help me, I'm lodged. I'm telling y'all, man, they had the dude dead to rights on 2 occasions. He could have went to jail on 2 occasions. That's with Aaliyah and his goddaughter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He would have been broke if they would have charged him, but they didn't testify. They didn't testify. They could have locked him up on 2 occasions. And that's Aaliyah and his goddaughter. Whoa, whoa, whoa. He would have been broke if they would have charged him, but they would not testify. That would have been it, man. I'm telling y'all, these people want this money. That's all they give a shit about. They don't care about these kids. They don't care about the other kids, the potential kids, anybody. They don't care about none of that shit. They want to get fucking paid.
Did not watch a rape.
And you clearly see her say, I didn't see her get raped.
The issue of consent, we have a legal system that says that they are not allowed to consent. So if they're not...
And there you go. You got them dead to rights. It's statutory rape all day long. All day. There is no, oh, well, it's a fine line. There's some gray area here where we kind of look at, the actual positioning and the willingness of the party. No, there's none of that. Statutory rape is just that. That person is under the age of consent. That means even if they want to, if they begging you for the dick, if they begging you for some pussy, if they begging you for it, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby, you can't do it. And if you do, it's illegal. You've broken the law. That's it. That's why they have the statute in place. That's it.
Not consenting by virtue, even virtue of age. It's a rape.
What we're talking about here is adults who are trying to children. There is no need for it.
And here's the thing too with consent. Now, is that a debatable subject? I absolutely think so. The age of consent being 18 in some states and 14 in others, I think there should be a universal motherfucking statute that goes across the board. I absolutely think there should be. And I think that a girl who is, because my thing is this. At 15, you can be under the statute. I mean, you could be under the statute, under the legal limit. And if you have sex with somebody that's 15, it's okay. You don't go to jail. If you have sex with somebody who's 17 and you 15, you don't go to jail. But if I'm 18 and you 14, if I'm 18 and you 17, I can go to jail if the age of consent is 18. So I do see that that's a problem. I see that that's something that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be revamped to where you say, hey, the legal age is 15. The legal age is 14, whatever the case may be. That's when it is. That's what it is. You go before that, that's your ass. And it be such a stiff fucking sentence that's mandatory. Won't nobody dispute it. Nobody would fucking do it. And the people that did, they would be rightfully jailed. That's it. Keep it moving.
The very foundation for that argument is moot.
There were 14 witnesses who testified to some knowledge of the girl on the tape. Starting at age 13, at age 14, she is, when the videotape is made, according to the state of Illinois, being raped by R. Kelly. But the jury never saw the victim. The jury never heard from the victim's mother and father.
What the fuck is Run It, bro? Are you telling me to play the fucking video that I'm fucking breaking down my damn self? I know that ain't what the fuck you telling me. Because if that's the case, Prolific Tees Entertainment can get the fuck out.
The victim depicted in the videotape and her family received over $2 million in financial benefits for obstructing justice and assisting R. Kelly in beating those charges.
You're tried with almost half an hour.
So they got $2 million. $2 2 milli, 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 2 milli. There you go. $2 million? Even if that number's off, that's life-changing money right there. That ain't no $50,000. That ain't no $25,000. That ain't no 1,800 and some red bottoms. $2 million. That lets you know he was in the video. That lets you know she was in the video. That's exactly what that tells you. That tells you that's what it is and that's what it was. There are no victims. There aren't any. It's a motherfucker that says, hey, there you go. You did this. I'm willing to take this forward. You are? Okay, I'll pay you this and you're good. All righty. Sign this paperwork saying you'll never talk about it, never had this argument again, never had this shit brought before court again, and we're good to go. Great. I'll take the money. Give me my check. I'll sign your paper. Vamonos. I'm out. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci. Ciao, bella.
Hour of crystal clear video of you sexually violating a 14-year-old girl, and you're acquitted. You think that this man would have stopped, but there always was talk of other tapes.
That's insane, man.
After R. Kelly's trial in 2000, making hit albums, appearances, endorsements, people really believed that he didn't do anything wrong.
After the 2010 Soul Train.
No, motherfuckers in bullshit. The black community, the niggas in Chicago, me and my crew, we knew. We was like, damn, that nigga got off. Why he get off? Oh, we found out that the girl was out of the country and didn't testify. That's what we found out. And that's when we said, oh, that's why he got off. He paid them motherfuckers off. It wasn't no, oh, well, they went to trial and they found him not guilty. No, these motherfuckers didn't have a case. These motherfuckers didn't have no witness. All they had was a grainy-ass tape talking about, yeah, it is him. Well, can you get the motherfuckers who in to say it's them? They said it ain't them. Them motherfuckers are willing to testify to say it ain't them. Matter of fact, we can't even find them motherfuckers to testify. What the fuck you want me to do then, prosecutor? We gotta let these motherfuckers go. This motherfucker gotta go. It gotta go. That's it. That's all it came down to. Wasn't no thing where we like, oh, we believed it. It wasn't killed. That was his brother, man. Bullshit. We was like, man, that was that nigga. We just knew like that nigga got off because the bitch didn't testify. They couldn't get the little girl to testify. Couldn't nobody corroborate the story. There was no evidence. It was literally saying, that ain't me. And the prosecutor saying, that is you. What the fuck you gonna do with that in the court of law? That ain't me. Yes, it is. No, it ain't. 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 No, it ain't. Yes, it is. No, it ain't. Yes, it is. That's all they was doing. There was nothing else to be said about it. You had to let the motherfucker go. If the glove don't fit, you must have quit. If the bitch ain't testifying that was in the flick, you must have quit. That's all it was. There's nothing else you can do. Gotta go.
Awards. He was allowed to perform a tribute to Sam Cooke.
He sort of made a decision to go deeper into his Pied Piper, dirty uncle type of persona.
He appears on 2 subsequent weekends at Coachella. He headlines Bonnaroo, and he headlines the Pitchfork Music Festival, being embraced by the white hipsters.
People looked at it like, well, he wasn't charged. He didn't go to jail for that. He was innocent.
All of this because the trial in 2008 was reduced to one girl on one videotape.
You would think after the first time that he went to trial, something might have clicked for R. Kelly. But he was still making videos.
You would think that a crackhead that gets arrested for crack would stop smoking crack, but yet he's still going to crack houses. You would think a heroin addict that's addicted to heroin gets locked up because heroin is illegal. You would think that when he got out of jail that he would stop doing heroin. You would think that an alcoholic who gets arrested for a DUI even though he didn't kill nobody, but still got arrested, you would think that he would stop drinking. But he gets out and he keeps drinking. You would think that a cokehead who's using cocaine, cocaine's an illegal substance, they get arrested and go to jail for doing cocaine, then they get out and they start doing cocaine again. You would think they would stop doing cocaine. You would think that a meth head who's doing meth, even though meth is illegal, would get out of jail and after they serve their time and stop doing meth. You would think that a person who steals for a living, after they get arrested for stealing and then they get let go because it was a misdemeanor crime, you would think they would stop stealing. You would think that a car thief who got arrested for cars and went to jail for stealing cars would then never be a repeat offender again and get out and stop stealing cars. Are you fucking serious? Why would you even make a statement like that? And you know what that does nothing but prove? That he does have a mental problem. That he does have a mental illness problem because he's fucked up in the head because of what happened to him as a child. That does nothing but solidifies the fact that he is mentally disturbed. He is a victim himself. That's all it does. For somebody to do what he did, get away with it, get back out, pay off everybody for it, get back out and do the same thing again, that's an addiction. That's a problem. Oh, but that can't be R. Kelly. He can't get off like that because he's R. Kelly and he got money. You can't have nothing wrong with you and you got money and you're a celebrity. No. It does nothing but prove my point from the beginning. And like I said, to those people that think, oh, well, you just rooting for R. Kelly, huh? You think what he did was okay? I can tell you this. If Centoya Brown can murder a fucking man cold-blooded because all he wanted was to buy some pussy and he paid her for it and he didn't even get it, but she shot him in the back of the head and robbed his ass and didn't go to the police, I damn sure think that R. Kelly could get off too. Yes, I do. If we can make a way for that bitch, we can damn sure make a way for this dude. Because he ain't killed no goddamn body. Ain't nobody lost their life fucking with Kales. And these bitches was going after him. Look
Robert
out
was
my
always
face on
video
the
and stuff. It's always video and stuff, so. I know he would make tapes of himself with women and so forth.
Did Robert tape women without their permission?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think if he did, I think they knew. I mean, because they knew they were getting taped. Yeah.
If the man would bend a young girl over in a room full of people and fuck her from behind, do you really think that this dude, being the celebrity that he was, would have to hide a camera? If he had other girls fucking each other, he was fucking them, he was having them recorded, and they said this themselves, they recorded them doing things sexually. He recorded them, they recorded him, he directed them, they directed him. Do you really think he would hide a camera? No way.
If it was okay to be filmed.
You don't know that he's filming you.
He's never asked permission to film.
Did he ever record you having sex with other women?
He did. He recorded me one time having sex with 2 women. I didn't know that it was being videoed though. He set me up. I knew the next day because he showed it to me.
He showed you the tape of you having sex?
Yeah. I think he did it as a joke. He said, y'all know I'm doing a movie. It's called Dumb Looks. And he put the video on and man, you was videotaping me. And now so many dumb looks on my face, you know, I guess that's why he called it Dumb Looks. Carrie happened to come.
I'm telling y'all, man, this ain't no one dude that's just doing this shit. It's all in the gang. It's all in the gang, man. Everybody was in on this shit. including the so-called victims. That's the biggest thing I want to get across on this shit. This ain't no true, straight up victim shit happening here. These are all a bunch of fucking mentally ill, emotionally distraught, fucked up in the head people that need counseling. At the very least. This ain't no sex trafficking syndicate where motherfucking women are being snatched in the vans and being drugged and forced to do shit. This ain't that. These motherfuckers wanted to all be in the limelight. They all wanted to be a part of the cool motherfuckers. They all wanted to be with the star-studded events. They all wanted to be around the guy who was at that time the guy.
Across the videotape at one point. We were in Miami for about 3 months. He was doing one of his albums there.
I think it was like 95. Robert had bought the movie Stephen King Sometime They Come Back Again. Horror movie. Ah, man, can your brothers watch that movie with you, man? So, man, y'all gotta buy y'all own. And I took the tape back to Chicago. I'm not knowing that what's on this tape is not Stephen King no more. And I put the tape in, and what's on his tape is these little girls that he done filmed over. He asked these girls on this tape, you know, how old are you? It's like he was interviewing them. And they was like 13. And these was white girls. That was 13. The system is a different ball game than a black girl that's 13. He'd have been gone. And I know that I shouldn't have did, but at this time, this is my brother. At this time, it's like, man, like, dude, you finna throw your whole life away. What is wrong with you? Robert ended up coming to Chicago, and I gave it to him. And he burnt it up.
The things that he was able to get away with in the 90s, early 2000s, he wouldn't be able to get away with today. But we still want to make sure that this doesn't happen again.
I think what's just is have been...
And for those of you who just tuned in, know that is not KRS-One. That is the Me Too movement lady.
Ruined by dealing with
I know she may look like KRS-One, but that is not her.
R. Kelly, being manipulated by R. Kelly, being abused by R. Kelly.
And if you have the sudden urge right now to say, "Boop, boop, that's the sound of the police. Boop, boop, that's the sound of the beast," it's okay, because everybody who's watching it probably has said that by now. It's all right. Or, so you're a philosopher? I think very deeply.
What justice looks like is whatever they need to feel whole again. There are people in the music industry. I have talked to people who worked with him in the industry who said, I know that he did this. And I took precautions to keep my people safe.
For me, a lot of this is about the fact that, like, America's laws have been set up to protect men around situations of sexual assault and rape. I'm sure all that woman is thinking about.
How, Sway? How? Do you hear that fuck shit this dude just said? If a woman can just say that this motherfucker raped me, he's immediately arrested. How can you say that that's the way it's set up to where men take advantage of women? What? How do you figure that? That is so fucking untrue. A woman can just halfway accuse you and will ruin your entire life, career and all. Case in point, Brian Banks. Bitch lied. She ruined his fucking life. Case in point, the Duke lacrosse team. The bitch lied. Ruined those boys' lives. How the fuck is that system set up to protect men? You see how they just let people just say fuck shit just because they want to say some fuck shit to help support a bullshit narrative? That's a fucking lie, dude.
Is how hard it is to get justice.
All of these people who failed these girls, you know, because this person was powerful, because it was in their best interest. Every time I think about it, I just get so.
And it's not all these people. It's these parents that failed these girls. These parents are the ones that failed these girls. That's the one thing that I don't hear any of these fucks saying. And that's why I'm saying this. That's why I'm doing this video. And that explains the abrasion on your palm. These motherfuckers are not saying the fact that these parents failed their children, the fact that these parents served their children up, the fact that these parents allowed to take money instead of prosecuting criminally. That's why these kids are in the position that they're in. That's why this motherfucker is still out and about. That's why he was able to do this for so long, because nobody wanted to prosecute him over taking the money. They wanted the money. And the only reason why they're doing this now is because the money is gone. That's it. They wanted more money. That's the only reason why this shit is even a fucking topic right now, is because there's no more money for them. And Lifetime is saying, hey, here's an opportunity for us to make some money off of this shit. Let's do it. Let's get the broke hoes in here because they want to tell their story. We'll put them up in some hotels, feed them some hot wings, and give them some new weed, and we'll keep it moving.
Angry. You know, I get very, very angry because they didn't deserve that.
You should be angry at the parents.
I do not think it is an accident that all of his victims are young women of color and that almost all of them are black.
That's not fucking true. You just heard the other dude say that there were white girls and there were Mexican girls who who told their stories too. The nigga was an equal opportunity statutory rapist. Facts. I'm telling you, it's like, why are they making it? Yeah, the fact that these are women, all women of color. No, it was just that it's more broke black bitches than it is any other bitches that was doing this shit and it was with it. Kales liked black girls. I get it. He grew up around them. He wanted to fuck them. I get it. But they was the ones that was participating the most in this shit. Wasn't no white girls going to Kenwood recruiting their friends to come fuck R. Kelly. No, it was black hoes that was doing that shit. Wasn't no white hoes showing up at Chicago tracks saying, yeah, I got me and my 13-year-old girls and we're going to come over, we can suck and fuck, Kels. No, that was black hoes doing that shit. And the white girls that did do it, that did fuck around, they kept their fucking mouth shut and moved on with their lives, or they took the settlement money and they moved on with their lives. They spent the money wisely and they not back trying to pull some more fuck shit. That's the only reason why you seeing these women now 20 years later.
I do not think that it is a coincidence that almost all of them are from urban areas where...
That's where he was from. Nigga, if I'm from the hood, I'm more than likely going to hang out in the hood because I like hood shit.
Opportunity is a challenge. I do not think that it is an accident that so many of our looking for a void to be filled. The truth of the matter is, R. Kelly continued to choose a specific victim.
It's a preference. It's not like, oh, I'm just speaking this way. If I like dark-skinned women, I'm going to pick dark-skinned women. If I'm attracted to white women, I'm going to pick white women. If I'm attracted to Asian women, I'm going to pick Asian women. If I'm attracted to Hispanic women, I'm going to pick Hispanic women. You saw in the videos that they've showed of him before, he did have a white girl that was going around with him doing that slave fuck shit. What are you talking about? You're making shit up.
My name is Lanita Carter, and I was the hair braider for R. Kelly.
Come on and braid my hair. Come on and braid my hair. Come on and braid my hair. My hair. Oh, wish that I could hold you now. I wish that you was 14 now. I wish that you was only 15 and be with me somehow. Oh, I know you ain't in my place, but I sure want you in my space. I wanna pee on your face and say everything's okay. That's what it is.
I was 24 years old when I met him. I met him through a friend of his. My goal in braiding his hair was to be doing hair for a celebrity, to build my clientele up. I was well known in different neighborhoods for braiding hair.
Hold on. Shout out to my man Billy Go for donating $1. I appreciate that, man. He said for the $1 challenge. Not much, you know the situation though. Thank you so much, sir. And also $8 from Terry Speaks. That's what's up. Thank you so much. She said for R. Kelly. I appreciate that. And also to my man who's always donating. Thank you so much. My man Brass Man Taker. He said $5. Much appreciated to you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate that as well. And also on the PayPal side of the game. And if you want to, you still can click the link, click the like, donate, whatever you want to do to help your boy out. You can definitely do it. I appreciate all of it. Whether it's $1 or if it's $1,000, go ahead and hit your boy up. That's what's up. Also, I want to give a shout out to, let's see here. Go back. I don't know why it's take all day for it to come up. There we go. I want to give a shout out to Vicky Meeks. Hit your boy off with $2. That's what's up. My man Willie Johnson. Hit your boy off with $5. That's what's up. And Solora Saxon. Hit your boy off with $3. That's what's up. I appreciate everybody that donated. I got to get up out of here because I got to use the bathroom. I've been sitting here for 3 hours.
I get the respect of many people for doing his hair. My family, they let me finish sentences when normally they didn't really care what I had to say. But it was more like Lanita, who's doing hair for a celebrity. She succeeded. Everybody was proud of me. It definitely felt wonderful. It made me more proud when I thought about it. You know, like everybody wanted to be doing something for this guy. And I just wanted to be, you know, a part of that. R. Kelly was so warm and welcoming and inviting. He told me he was my big brother. And I didn't take that lightly. I was proud of that.
Wow. All right, that's going to be on the next one. So I just want to say thank you to everybody. I got to go and use this battle. I've been sitting there for almost 4 hours. I appreciate everybody that took the time. Click the like button, click the subscribe button. We had like 230-something people watching. I appreciate all you guys. Until next time, I just want to say I hope that this video helps somebody become a better version of themselves. They can see the truth in this and see the facts in this and do better by our kids. That's the only thing that I really want to get from. I want people to get from this and to get the truth. These parents out here are the reason why these kids are suffering. We got to start holding them accountable. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. Peace, and I am out. Hey. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. It's always been a pleasure. Peace.